Fuck the 99
Dang.
cents in the chat. Didn't even say
Yo,
anything.
what is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the next podcast. Yes, that is right. We are live and we have some crazy topics to go through. I can't wait to hear what the panel has to say. We have okay, all right. We have had some things drop. Since the last time we were live, it's some very interesting things. We finally got a PS5 breakdown. Everybody is talking about the heat that is coming from the next gen consoles. Not only that, we have a deal going on between GameStop and Microsoft, and I saw a lot of people posting that. So we're gonna go over that and let you guys know exactly what you can expect from that as well, because we do have a professional here. We have a gaming business professional here, and I'm gonna go right into the intros then. Yo, that professional is my brother Predator. What is up, bro?
Oh shit! I get to go first today. So
Yes.
it's been a while for that.
I try to
Not much,
rotate,
man.
man. I try to
No,
rotate
you
it
don't.
around.
No, you don't.
I
No, you
try.
don't.
I
No,
said I try.
no.
Yo,
I know you try, but you're not trying. You're not doing good with it. But you
dude,
try
what
about as
is
hard
up
as
with
Dallas
your
Cowboys
picture?
defense. Oh my!
Yeah.
You like that? You know I gotta change it up every week, man.
Wow.
I keep
Wow.
everybody fresh.
Yeah, man. You keep everybody in the chat on their toes with that one. But dude, not only am I looking forward to the whole Microsoft GameStop thing, but with all the other topics, man, I can't wait to hear what you have to say. I know you have opinions as well as the rest of everybody else here. So, I'm gonna get into everybody else.
I
All right, bro. Next on the list, yes, I'm gonna call out my West Coast brother, the man who is single-handedly bringing back the mullet, Dark Optimus. What is up, bro?
What's up, man? Happy to be here. Ready to get into these topics, dude. It's gonna be a good night.
Dude, I heard you pre-ordered two PS5s, not to use both, but only use one, and the second one you're gonna have as like a coffee table. You're gonna lay it down on its side for
Yeah,
some.
Well, actually, I'm gonna have one standing up and one on its side, so that one can stand on top of the other.
Nice, nice, bro. All right, man. I gotta move on. Well, hold up. Let me hit the super chat first, real quick, yo. There was one before time, yo. Shout out to Ritual. Thank you for hitting up that super chat, brother. Really, really do appreciate it. Shout out to Mr. OG White coming in with a super chat. He says, "Yo, what's good, everybody? I know you guys are gonna hold it down today, brother. I think we do that every week. We'll leave it up to the chat. Do we hold it down every week, chat? Yo, let me see the comments. Next on the list, you guys know him as that hardcore Gears head, and it's pretty exciting because one of the other games he plays, they just showed the second battle pass for that today. So, what is up, Crispy? How you doing?
Oh, what's going on? I was not even going to get it, and then I saw Rain, and I was like, "Yo, that's my dude right there. Let's go!"
Dude,
So yeah,
I
I
thought
was
I
like,
th- I thought I was the only like diehard like Rain guy. Like every time there was a battle pass between MKX and MK11, I wanted Rain. But dude, I see everybody talking about Rain right now.
"Yeah, dude, like Rain was a surprise." I was already thinking Melina, and I heard Rambo, which I was a little off put, but apparently that's Sylvester Stallone's actual voice. So that's cool because they kind of didn't do it right with Terminator. Just saying. Glad
Oh.
to. Well, hey, if somebody's listening, you should have got Nuke Nukem, bro. Like, come on.
Yo, true that. True
But
that.
yeah, I'm excited now because I want to play as Rain. I mean, Melina, it's hit or miss for me on any of the Mortal Kombat's. Like sometimes she's really good, sometimes I'm like, I'm not really into that.
Mm.
So we'll see about that. But I'm definitely Rain is my jam, bro.
All right, brother. All right, and as usual, it is always good to talk to you about gaming live for the chat every Thursday. So I can't wait to get into it with you as well. Next on the list, if he was a Mortal Kombat character, his finishing move would have something to do with very pretty feet, and that is K Mega. What is up, bro?
Oh man, excellent. And listen, feet matters. I don't understand why people would try to make that into a joke, but I'm sure that your wives and girlfriends is over here dying for y'all to get them crusty ass toes taken care of. So, as usual, man, I'm back again. Let's go. Excited about Mortal Kombat news. Kind of shocked about the Rambo stuff, but that's okay. I'm still gonna bust some head in it. Crispy, you're always invited. And so are you, Xbot 448, the fight night Sunday. And man, just looking forward to tonight and to what we're going to be doing tomorrow on GRG. It's going to be fun, man. It's going to be fun. Oh, and also, listen, for all the uproar saying that I'm lazy and don't want to, and I'm afraid of screwdrivers, sure. It's called I Believe in Innovation. I can't wait to get into that topic. So let's
Oh
just
no.
get to it. Let's just get to it. I've been holding it in. Oh man, get ready.
Oh
Get ready.
my goodness. Guys, you might be in for one of those shows tonight. That's all I gotta say about that one. But yeah, and huge shout out to the fan base. For people who don't know what that is, the fan base, as you can see, the names are scrolling across the bottom. I like to let that roll for a little while. I do have to update the actual time because I believe another month has gone by. But these are the members to the channel. Shout out to you guys for helping fund this fiasco that happens every Thursday, as well as the Series X podcast, which is every Sunday. Huge shout out to you guys, and of course everybody in the chat as well. All the support, all the comments, everything in the chat. It's all gravy, man. I absolutely love it. Thank you for all the support. But we got to get into our topics, and I am going to the professional first. Now, it was announced today that Microsoft has made a deal with GameStop, and I see a lot of people saying, "Oh, Microsoft is going to be GameStop's savior." All this good stuff. I went in and tried to, I started reading what the deal entails. Predator, I need you to put some clarification on this. Like, what is exactly going on between Microsoft and GameStop right now?
So from reading everything that I saw, it's it's not Xbox, it's Microsoft. You have to think that Microsoft does a lot of shit with their innovation with Surface and stuff like that, and Office 365. So they're integrating that kind of technology into GameStop to help them. So imagine going into GameStop and there's those two weird motherfuckers behind the register that you always see. They're just sitting there, and you're just walking around the store doing what you want to do. So now they'll have employees with little tablets in their hands and Surface Books or something like that, walking around the store, assisting you, helping you with your purchases and doing it right there instead of you picking out what you want and then coming to the register. It's just, I guess, to me, it seems like they're trying to basically change up the way that they do business on the inside of the store, and maybe how they manage their inventory, like on the website and stuff like that. So they're integrating that. Now, of course, will there be some Xbox stuff coming out of it? Should there? Yes. I mean, you might see them actually pushing Xbox things now. Like instead of like just going in there being like, oh, you don't want that. Like, now they might actually push you to buy an Xbox a bit more, or maybe push Game Pass a little bit more. That kind of deal. But like, it's not. Don't think of it as just an Xbox thing. I think it's more tailored towards the business side of how they function at the store and on the website and stuff like that.
All right, so
that's what I got from it.
Basically, it's kind of like the business like the business to customer kind of like infrastructure, tools, devices, helping to kind of like expand the experience to the consumer when they're in the store, stuff like that. And then and then kind of like the backbone, kind of like the programs and stuff. Because I worked at GameStop back in 2013, and I swear whatever version of Windows they were using was like 20 years older than the time I was there. So like, and any upgrades like that is definitely welcome there. So what?
Yeah, and like how they they have the Xbox All Access thing. I think they were doing it with GameStop as well. That I mean, like now it's like you can go into the store and get it there. Like I think they're doing that anyway. But like look at the overall picture of this. Like GameStop, like earlier this year, they were $4 a fucking share. Maybe I think actually one time I think they were under $4. I think like $3.50 a share. Like they were tanking. They're already closing stores and stuff like that. Microsoft doesn't have a brick and mortar store anymore. Yeah, so this actually works out for them too, because they can still sneak in, kind of have a little brick and mortar stuff. Now, if they start selling Surface stuff in there, I don't know if that's going to happen. Having a tech in there, to help you with your Surface products, like they do at Best Buy with the Samsung stuff. Like I don't think it's going to go that far, but at least now they have a storefront, and essentially they could use it as a storefront to push Xbox a little bit more. And for GameStop, I mean, like I said, they're in the tank, dude. They were, and I sent this screenshot in the chat. Not in the chat, but in the private DMs. But like their stock, right when that was announced, went from like $9.60 a share to like it closed overnight over $14 a share.
Oh, damn.
Wow, that's a lot.
Well, when the bell rang, I think it was maybe $13 a share. But like tonight, because they do trading after hours, like it's already at $14 a share. Well, $14.60 a share. So that's a $5 jump per share, and they've only been over double digits like once this year. But this is the perfect time for this to happen though, for them, because the consoles are coming out and people are actually in the store buying stuff now. So it's perfect timing.
And I don't know. I was gonna say, is there a way that it guarantees that GameStop's gonna be around for a while? But I'm gonna scratch that. Pred,
no.
for the gamers out there, because again, social media kind of started blowing up over this. There were people talking about Microsoft saving GameStop. I don't see that with what you said here. I see it as more kind of like that webbing / infrastructure, kind of like upgrading. What does this mean? Because it's Microsoft, let's talk about the Xbox gamer. Like, what is there any benefit here on Microsoft's side in terms of like the consoles or anything like that? You did say something off the air, and I'm trying to fish it out of you, bros. Like,
I don't remember what I said. You might have to tell me, because I don't remember what I said.
Kind of training.
Training the employees a little bit to actually force products. Like, how you go in there and they're like, do you want this magazine? Do you want this Game Informer magazine? Do you want this year subscription game? like that kind of shit. And you're just like, dude, I just want the fucking game. Sell me the game. Like now, they might, not saying it's going to happen, but they might be kind of trained a little bit on more Xbox centric stuff, where it isn't. I kind of mentioned this earlier too, where they're not just walking in there and they're like, "No, man, you don't want that Xbox, man." Like I've had that happen to me before. I walk in.
Dude, I got let go. I got let go for not absolutely just praising PlayStation and shitting on Xbox, man. They took my hours and eventually let me go because of that. Like it was really weird, man.
So I mean, think of it this way. Like I said, this is the perfect timing for this. If you walk into a store now, and I don't think it's going to happen like in the next week, but let's a little bit longer term, right? You walk into a store, you're going to pick up a console for the holidays or something like that, and they're actually in the store. That employee isn't just going to be like, I'm a PlayStation guy, I'm going to make you a PlayStation kid too. Like they will be trained to, they should be trained a little bit more knowledgeable on what the Xbox offers. And not necessarily push it, but at least they can have answers for it. Because most of those guys, some of those guys don't even touch the Xbox. Let's be real. They're straight up PlayStation guys, and not all of them, but I mean, there are mostly. I know when I've gone in the stores in the past, I hate GameStop. I hate going in there, but when I've gone in there, when I was younger, they would try to influence me to the PlayStation side when I tried to pick up an Xbox. So that would help a little bit with mind share long term. I would think if they're trained properly, if they're trained to not be that dick that's in the store, just to be fair. And like someone asks a question, what is this? What's the difference between this and that? They can actually answer those questions and get them a little bit more into the ecosystem that they were not used to. So I know when I worked in stores, like when I worked at Home Depot and Lowe's when I was a kid, I was like 17. And like we had training on every product. Like if you wanted to learn about this washing machine, like you'd have to sit down and do a CBT on that washing machine. And you wouldn't just go in there and just sell the whirlpool. You'd have to learn about every single one of them. So when someone came to you and asked you a question about it, you were able to answer questions about each and every one. It wasn't one-sided. So I think hopefully this kind of helps with that. But I don't know I don't know how deep they're going to dig into this aspect of this merger, this partnership, I'd say.
Yeah. Now, I am gonna move. Oh, well, first off, before I move to the rest of the panel, let me catch up on these super chats real quick. Sir X-Man, thank you, brother, hitting up that super chat. He said, blah blah blah, golf. Yeah. How come I expect that from you, brother? I really do. Yo. Oh, damn, I flew right by it. Hold on, real quick. Wow. Yo, the chat. I usually stop at the first super chat, so this way I know I got it, and then I scroll back down. Man, you guys are
Jesse
really.
Darby, did you get that one?
Which one?
Jesse Darby.
That's where I'm at right now. Yo, shout out to Jesse Darby hitting up that super chat. Thank you, brother. He says, Xbot, I need you to say this, Christopher a idiot. Oh, see, I read it, so I said it, right? That's as far as I'm going, bro. It's as far as I'm going, yo. Sir
Two
X-Man,
more, I think.
Sir X-Man says, can't wait to play Rain, Melina, and Rambo in MK11. Yo, brother, you and me both, and I swear a lot of other people out there. And I believe I am caught up for now. Yo, shout out to you guys. Thank you so much. If you guys want me to read out, something important, something you want to be said, yo, just hit up the super chat. It'll highlight a different color. I'll be able to read it. But let's go to the panel on this now. Dark, I gotta ask you, man. I don't know how interested you are in this, but does this news do anything for you? What are your thoughts on this? Or are you just like pass? What do you think about what Microsoft and GameStop came up with? Do you think they maybe should have hooked up more? What's going on?
I think it's smart, honestly.
On whose
I
part?
think on the GameStop's part
Of course.
to work with Microsoft. I mean, they've been kind of in the shitter for a long time. I mean, shoot, dude, I hate going into GameStop. I want to trade in my fucking my PS4 Pro, and I don't even want to go to GameStop to do it. I mean, I might just sell it online. I don't know. I'm just like, I don't want to even go to GameStop. But I've been wanting to sell my Pro because I'm getting the 5. So I'm like, what do I need the Pro for? So I'm like, well. I was gonna trade it in, but I was like, I just don't like dealing with those dudes, man. They always try to push shit on you. And I'm just like, ugh. But it seems like now with this Microsoft deal, it feels like it's gonna be even more pushed on you. Like other things are gonna be pushed on you, like having these guys coming away from the counter over to where you're standing, and then like asking you like a million questions is going to be annoying. Fuck, I'm just saying, it is going to be annoying. And that's why I probably will never go to GameStop ever again. I mean, I think the last time I went to GameStop was maybe 2018, and that was just to get, I think, one game, maybe somewhere around there. So it's been a while. It goes to show you the times have changed. And the reasoning behind it is that I think, GameStop needed something or someone to kind of step in and kind of give them some help with certain things, because I mean, like you said, their technology when you were working there was old. So, I mean, them getting this new technology might be better for them. Right. Them getting newer technology from Microsoft will hopefully help them a little bit better, but I really don't think it's gonna affect them in the way of them pushing more Microsoft products. It might help them with the Xbox and stuff, but I don't think it's gonna help them to push I don't think they're gonna be like, oh, you want to buy a Surface Pro, or anything like that. I don't think that's gonna happen. But I mean, you never know. It's GameStop, like like they do what they kind of like Nintendo. They do what they want,
I wouldn't mind a Surface Pro, but go ahead.
I mean, I wouldn't either. I mean, I love those things. I think those things are fucking sick as fuck. But I just I just don't have any inkling to go out and buy one.
Yo, Dark, hold on real quick because Pong Soul in the chat. It's not a super chat, but I just saw that. He says digital trading a possibility down the road. I didn't even think of that.
That would be.
I was waiting. He took it right from me because I was holding on to that.
I mean that would be a definite
Shout out to Pong.
that would give. I think
Shout
that would give
out.
people. I think that would give people more of an incentive to maybe shop with GameStop.
Mhm.
But I don't know. I mean, if it's it's an interesting deal. Let's just say
Dude,
that.
it
I
sounds
would
like
say
it
when I
sounds
heard
like you
about it,
haven't. Yo, person, real quick. It sounds like you haven't really fully like. It is new news today. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? So,
yeah. I didn't. As soon as Pred shared it, I was just like, oh, okay. I was like it wasn't like anything that I had any inkling of like any interest in, anyways. Because it's just how much I just do not like GameStop. I can't. I can never go there like ever. I mean, I know a lot of people like going there just because they can get their, they can stand in line for pre-orders for their consoles and stuff like that. And they some GameStops, but the GameStops here, man, they're all a bunch of fucking douches. They just try to upsell you shit. And they always try to. They're just a bunch of they just. I don't know. They're terrible at the GameStops here. I mean, maybe where you guys are, it's a little bit better. And if you guys got people that work at GameStop that you think you can get some stuff from or whatever, they let you know like when the next pre-orders come out, then yeah, keep going to them. But I mean, here they're not great at all.
Oh, okay.
They just I feel like this whole thing is just whatever.
I can kind of I got that from you at one point in time, but definitely appreciate your opinions, and I'm sorry that your GameStops are so shitty. I think a lot of people do say
Yeah.
that about their GameStops as well. I know I tried to make it when I was
It
working there.
used to be good. No,
Like,
don't get me wrong. Like mine used to be really good, but then they got rid of a bunch of people who were pushing like you were pushing Xbox and stuff. They got rid of a
I
lot of people
wasn't
who were pushing that and stuff. So
and that's kind of a misnomer, man. I listened to what the people wanted, and I brought them
yeah,
to whatever product I thought would make them happy, and that's pretty
right,
much what I did, man.
right, exactly.
Just
And
because I
and
had a
and that's why they got rid of a lot of their guys.
just
That's why
because
they
I
got
had
rid
a
of a lot of their
pin
guys.
from the original manager that said, official Xbox One expert, for the store, I was the Xbox One guy,
Uh
you know,
yeah.
but I still sold everything. But let's get to K Mega because K Mega, and again, shout out to Pong,
He's definitely chomping at the bit.
yo. You and Pong might be related, or you know what they say, great minds think alike, man. But what do you think about this deal, brother?
No, I mean I think it's just another move where Microsoft is making up for the mistakes of what they did this last past gen. I mean, I don't think anybody looked at the significance of how big GameStop was for Sony overall, especially during that time when it came to digital games to people just trading their hard copies in. I mean, there's still people to this day that are just adamant that all they want is just hard copy games. And so when you walk into any GameStop, just like what Fred was saying and everybody else was saying, is that thrown you was always thrown the PlayStation bone. You all even if you didn't care about anything what PlayStation was going on, it was
Yeah.
it was always PlayStation always. If you didn't if you and even if they were so busy and they couldn't even talk about the PlayStation with you seen it all around. You seen the kiosks. You look up there on the like they usually have like some kind of television thing going on that's got like people talking about games, and heavily PlayStation slated. Like it was pure PlayStation propaganda, and it's nobody's fault for Microsoft. I mean, they should have been in there a long time ago. So I think that they've learned and understood that, hey, look, we we just dropped the ball on that, and Sony took full advantage. Now the situation is flipped. Once Sony kind of pushed away from GameStop because they're starting to go digital, they're kind of like left out in the cold. And so again, the relationships between like Reggie and people out there from Xbox, they because that was the one thing I think everybody was trying to figure out was how was Reggie going to do anything to preserve GameStop at the state that it is right now. And as you can see that they're closing stores, they're on their way. And I mean, will this Microsoft boost help them? It'll progress for a couple of more years, but there has to be more incentive in them for them to keep surviving. So so that's what it came to me, was that like, what would be the reasons for me to go to a GameStop once this new generation gets kicked off? And digital sales, digital trade-ins was that thing, like somehow that they could make that type of work. And so shout out to Pong for coming out with that, because I was like, that's perfect. Because if there's one thing that gamers ask for from the Xbox, that Xbox has been very quiet about, they talked about it for a little bit, was about that, and was about digital trade-ins. Like, you want me to invest in this, but once I'm done with this game is just sitting and it's done. Is there any way that you could have a store to do this? And now also in that article, it was saying that they're going to boost up their GameStop online store. So that could easily be a thing, and a key to at least preserve them a little bit further. Now, is it a done deal? Absolutely not. But I think it would be very smart and wise for them to look into that. And you can see PlayStation would go in there, could jump in there as well going forward. Go ahead.
Do you think that it'd be like an exclusive thing for GameStop to do that with Xbox games and not PlayStation games?
I doubt that. I think the way that Microsoft operates, they're not going to just shun PlayStation or Nintendo at all. Like
they're definitely a like Mr. Nice Guy kind of.
Yeah, if this was 2001 Xbox, absolutely. Like
it would be different.
but it's just one of those things where Xbox is trying to preserve something that was once great, and now it's got exploited for what it really was. And now it has to restructure itself because people are now going more digital. I think it's up to 80, it's like 78 to 80% now on for consoles. So it's drastic. And how the old model of what GameStop has been doing has been absolutely atrocious. And that's the reason why I haven't really been going in there that much, except for just recently for going up here and talking to the guy to see if I could still give me a Series X, and for me buying controllers. And that's pretty much it. Like, I mean, so if you got these incentives to where I can go in and I don't have to be overly hassled either way. I mean, I don't want to be overly hassled of like, look, you want an Xbox? You want an Xbox? Shut up. No, I don't. I'm coming here to get what I want. Now, if you want to sell me on something, that's fine. I understand what you have to do, but don't just drill me. That's why I stick to the GameStops that I go to. And that's it. I don't really try to venture out to go to any other ones because I know exactly what they're going to do. Because when they see new people, they think that they got new meat, and I'm just like, look, man, no, it's not even that serious. You can back off on that. So I don't want it to be slated towards any company. I want it to just be how a store is supposed to be. Tell me what's the new hot stuff coming out, once and for all, let Xbox finally have them damn kiosks up and ready to go. That's something that we have been asking for and been wanting for a long time to see. When you first started, you seen the Xbox One, but you seen PlayStation, but the Xbox was always off. At least hopefully now that some of these people know that they got to check, they'll probably, even though we'll know that there's a lot of PlayStation lovers out there in GameStops, that they got to cut that damn thing on too and let people see the difference. And also, this could also mean that maybe Xbox is, and I know this is kind of crazy to say, but I mean, they're so proud of the Series X that they're willing to just say, look at this side-by-side comparison. There, you know what I'm saying? You see this right now with this new kiosk of the greatest of the best hardware that's out there compared to the competition. and maybe they was just waiting for this moment to start doing this and everything. But I think it's a really good thing. I mean, a lot of us don't have the same love like we used to for GameStop, but it is still a fixture, and you would want it to evolve and do something that and not really go away. I mean, I know that some people will say good riddance, send it to Hades, send that shit to Hades, but I think it's I haven't brought that back in a minute, damn. And so
that's been a while.
it's been a while, and so that's that. But I think it still has some time left. It still got a little breathing room. It's got a little air breather on it now.
Yeah,
So
I mean, when it comes down to it, the deal just came out today. Like we saw basically, a rundown of it. But there could be little intricacies in the back. There could be little things that they're still kind of working out, added features, stuff like that. As of right now, like.
hold on, bud. Hey, dual purpose acting kind of strange, bro. That's a strange comment. He says K-Mega acts like a fine girl at the club when he's in a GameStop. Bro. Yeah, you gotta buy me a drink, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is.
It's
Yo,
the feet, bro. Gets to his head.
Yeah. You gotta back.
Buy him a drink. He
Give
be
him
a
the
little
red
pink.
carpet.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
wow.
But I mean, everybody knows
Everybody heard
exactly
that.
what that means, though. I like that, though. That's why I was like, that's
He's
a little
bringing in
strange,
a
though.
new
But
meaning to K Diva.
hey, that's tinky
See
winky.
what you did,
But
Duel?
I'll take it though.
Duel,
But
you see what you
I like
did,
that.
but do
That's
more
funny.
of that, all right, brother? Because there's a fire lit under the panel tonight. Yo, Crispy, just real quick, again, brand new news. We definitely had to cover it. Yeah, it's funny. It's funny how news breaks around Thursday. It's really cool.
It's
really
magical.
it is really cool how it breaks on the same day that we go live, and we are able to give the freshest opinions on it. So, what do you think about this deal between Microsoft and GameStop, bro?
Personally, I think that Microsoft is really into gaming at this point. I mean, you're starting to see it. Yes, this is Microsoft itself's products, not necessarily Xbox, but they're going to give them some different technology, some new interfaces. They're probably going to be giving them Surface tablets. From what I
It's not
read,
even
you're going to be able to.
probably. Pred said they were, or they're giving them devices.
We'll see. We'll see when they actually get everything.
Dude, they're
and
gonna
all
give
that
them Windows
happy stuff.
phones that have been modified.
You never know. Like you can't even know. It could be the
Old-ass
size of a
technology.
Windows
I'm about to
phone.
go apply for GameStop again, man.
Well, I mean, you got to realize that Surface has had a partnership for years with the NFL, so you got to understand that the advertisements might come into play at some point. They're helping GameStop right now. I mean, you could say what you want, but that stock price going up that quickly. And that clearly says how people understand what Microsoft's doing as far as branding and how they're trying to put their hands in all the cookie jars. I've said it before, I'll say it again. They don't care where they throw the hands in the cookie jar. It might be slimy with COVID all over it, but they're gonna throw it in there. And that's the whole point, because they're gonna, they are looking at it in a long-term strategy, and they're saying we can't have such a huge company with thousands of stores just die. And from what I read, that they're gonna be taking inventory with this. They're gonna be using it with teams. They're gonna be like it's gonna be a full integration. So it's probably gonna be really beneficial to them. And they're probably going to see the benefits of it and maybe realize that the Xbox ecosystem ain't so bad after all.
Oh my goodness, bro. Yo. On that note, again, this just came out, so let it all sink in a little bit. You heard our opinions, but now let's get into a bigger topic, because finally Sony and PlayStation finally showed what was underneath the hood of the PS5. Like, literally. They did a breakdown. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Oh,
I thought he was shedding a tear real quick. I don't know.
No, he's just making me laugh because it's like We'll get into it.
Okay, all right. But they came out with the PS5 breakdown, and I gotta say, like, first thing that came to mind, and I'm just gonna give my opinions real quick, and then we're gonna go to the panel. I like to make my opinions kind of like a little shorter, possibly sweeter. I don't know. Let the chat decide on that. But first off, the PS5 is a freaking monster. That thing is absolutely huge. And I know there's people out there that are like, oh, the size doesn't matter or whatnot. And I gotta bring it back to all those funny ass memes when the Series X came out, because people were making it like a refrigerator. I know it's size and shape, but when it comes down to it, man, like when you stand this sucker up, it is tall as hell. When you put the sucker down sideways, it is wide as hell. Like that thing is massive. But they really went in. They broke it down. You know what? You know what? Let's go to K Mega first. Like I before Pong comes in and like says everything that K Mega wants to say, which is a possibility. And K Mega, before we get into this, just so I can stay up to date,
He
I'm gonna
might
hit up.
he might be my alter ego. You never know. So
Oh no, I'm gonna keep up with the super chats here. So Sir X Man, hit up that super chat one more time, brother. Thank you. He said, don't be surprised to see a GameStop store on the dashboard. I wouldn't be GameStop does all the controlling of the used digital content. You know, GameStop somewhere on the dashboard, I can definitely see that. In terms of controlling all digital content, I think Microsoft likes controlling that them damn selves, man. Like I don't see them handing over those reins, but it's a possibility, Sir X Man. That is a great point, and it's something we didn't think about. So, all right, K Mega,
yeah.
I got to ask you about this PS5 breakdown, man. What were your first thoughts as they were doing this? Because again, gamers out there, they started sharing this all over the place. I know I had a really big interest. What were your highlights, man? You know what? Let's do it this way. What was the best thing you saw from this breakdown?
Okay. I want to kind of answer. I'm acting like the debate right now. I'm kind of jumping ship. I would have hit up what Sir X Man was saying. This is the thing for me is where I could see that a little bit, but no, GameStop wouldn't have all full control, because what I think what Xbox would try to do is have a store, and PlayStation as well, and Nintendo. If Nintendo decided to get into that front, that where they could have their own place to where they could control digital properties. Because I mean, you have the G2As, you also have like the CD keys, and you have plenty of other places out there that does these little stream keys and stuff like that. And it's kind of like an outside entity. If Xbox can, if Microsoft and PlayStation and whoever else that's involved can jump in there, and like Steam and Epic want to jump in there and do some things like that, I think it would be best for them overall, and it would be a lot safer. It wouldn't be cheaper, that's for damn sure, but it would be safer environment for people to make sure that they get those products and in exchange how they see fit. So I don't know, but I mean that we'll see how that goes out. But to your question, Bot, um, okay, what was the best thing? Well, we got to see the console. We got to see
In in
everything within
in real life, in comparison to a person.
to a person, breaking it down, showing everything that's in there. Um, the fan. I mean, it's just good to see that. It's just good to see that the console is there. Somebody's holding it. They showed all the parts in it.
Mhm.
And it's going to be available.
All right. Well, what were your thoughts, as because, like, a couple things to point out. I know
Yeah.
you got people on the internet, with the whole screwdriver situation when it comes to
Yes.
the stand. The heat sink and the fan basically make up like 90% of the console itself.
Hmm.
What were your thoughts after seeing this whole thing? Do you think this is a good design in terms of what they did, for the consumer, the people who are gonna pick this up? I'm pretty sure you're gonna pick it up as well.
Yeah, I'm going to pick it up eventually. This is my take. I made a video on it, and of course and I made my comments about it. And I mean, and it's sad that you have to give this disclaimer because I did it in my video. It's like, look, I'm going to get a PlayStation. I'm going to get me one of these. It's no question. I mean, now it's according now if I want to wait, because to me there's no question that they're going to come out with a pro version of this, but a more smaller,
Hmm.
more
That's
efficient type of console.
that's a
See, this
great
is my
point. You know
yeah.
what? Real
Mhm.
quick, I just want to let
Yeah.
you like I just want to feed off of that real quick because
Okay.
this reminds me a little bit in terms of the heatsink and stuff, because I used to fix like my friends Xbox 360s and all that good stuff. And the
Mhm.
first round, the launch day, launch, I dare I say launch window, basically the first year of the 360, it had the chrome disc tray. That was the first year, and they eventually
I
switched it
remember that.
over. they
Mhm.
they they switched it over to all white. But I opened those suckers up, and for that time there was a massive heat sink in there. It kind of reminds me in those terms of the launch 360. And I'm not trying to put any bad mojo out there. We all know what happened with the launch 360.
Oof.
You know what I
I had the
Yeah.
red ring too, bro. Trust me, I did.
There millions of people had the
I'm
red
not
ring,
saying it's
but
gonna happen, but the inside
mm.
definitely reminded me of that console. But go ahead, bro.
Okay. So this is my thing with this, right? I mean, I want to be. I don't want people to say that K Mega he just want to bash it because it's a PlayStation product. I'm. It's not that. Because if this was an Xbox product like this, I'm going to say the same thing. We're in 2020. We're not in 2006. We're just not. And if for any time that you have to crack open your console to go inside of it to place anything in it is beyond me. It's the listen. I don't want to hear the comparisons about well this console. Well, you have to do that with a PC. A PC is its own entity. You're supposed to do that if you want to if you want to build a PC or if you just want to go and change out the components. It is meant for that. That's why you have that big ass opening that has got the screws to do this. Now I understand that they got this, but
That's why
look, the
there's a
whole
door on it.
exactly right. What place they look, if you paid attention to this, and I'll be definitely showing this in full detail. I'm going to be letting that thing loop on GRG tomorrow. When you see that guy opening that lid, and he had to kind of pull it a little bit. How many people is going to overpull that thing and break it? How many homes is going to have one, you know what I'm saying, one of those lids on one side and not having a lid on the other side, or it's going to be completely
Oh.
broken on the other. And then just think because people are not going to know their own strength. It's just like I said, everybody takes care of their products when they first get them, like a brand new car, like it's a brand new baby. You take care of it. You do whatever you're supposed to do with that, because it's a new product. But once you get comfortable, that's when the problems can arise. And that's to me is where everything can happen. Consoles are not meant to be moved like that, especially with all these component parts. And I mean, if people ask me the silliest questions, what important components are you? The whole damn console. You have to change. You have to move the whole console in order for you to break something down to put in storage. It is. Listen, when we go look for a new vehicle, or if you want to rent a vehicle, what's the first thing we do? Are you going to be are you going to be excited because that car is going to have a 5 disc changer in it, or are you going to be happy because you're looking for the aux? You know what I'm saying? So you can plug in your phone so you can listen to your music through the stereo that way. Like we can't keep trying to make excuses for things that should be already enhanced. Like the whole mantra of if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It doesn't apply to this because this is just a cheap method from PlayStation to cut corners instead of giving you efficiency. Like, I mean, it's absolutely, without me saying anything about the competition and what they can do with their product on adding storage. This here is absolutely insane that you have to do that. Yeah, is it over as an over hassle? No, you just take a screw, you do this, you do that. But why would you have to take that out, do all of this in order for you to add storage? And then one more point on this too, before you ask me the question you want to ask me, is like with one product, you can label what games, or you can label it whatever name that you want to. With that storage that you put into the PlayStation 5, you can't label that thing. You know what I'm saying? You can't do anything but just figure out, oh well, if I only bought a 250 gigabyte SSD card, I'm already full, so I better take this out and swap it out. And maybe you want to go back and put that game in there. So you got to reopen that thing, put that thing back in there, and you don't even know what games you might have on there. Like that, it's just too much hassle. What was you going to ask me, Bot? What was you going to ask me?
No. When it came to the SSD and expanding the memory. Now, first off, I
Yeah.
will again. I'll put my disclaimer. There are things I did like about the system, and
Mhm.
as I go from panel member to panel member, I'll probably share kind of like one in between each one. But there were definitely some head scratching things. Now, when it comes to expanding the memory, I'm kind of in your boat like with it. I'm not as extremely in your boat, but like
I get it's just efficiency. Like, I mean, you
why
can't.
wouldn't you make that simpler for people
Like,
who don't, who
what about people with disabilities? What about people
oh
who
damn.
what about people like does that thing, I don't know how much that thing weighs, but what if people have disabilities and they can't do that? So you're gonna trust somebody else to go in there and do that for you? And what about the parents who buy their console and then that kid is out of storage, but then they go and look on YouTube and they want to go ahead and mess with it, and then next thing you know, something messes up. Or let's say that they go as far as want to tinker with something, or they want to clean out because I read somebody say, oh man, it was genius how PlayStation lets you take out the fan and let you clean it. Yeah, that's all well and good, but what will the
They
person
don't
who's
let you
going to?
take out the fan though. They have vacuum holes, which I think is really cool. Like to
Yeah, no,
actually
that's
have
cool,
that.
but
That
but
is
no, but
awesome.
I promise you, I just read the tweet yesterday. Like it was from somebody who a lot of PlayStation fans listen to, and they were like, oh, you can take out the fan and you can blow it and clean it and all that. Okay, fine, but what about the person that just
Yo,
go
can you
ahead
can you say that
and then
again?
they plug that and they plug that thing in, and then they mess up one of the pins. Ah, what you think is going to happen to that PlayStation 5 then?
Bye.
So it's like, and did you think that PlayStation is going to honor the warranty? A lot of people's like, oh, they're promoting it. There's plenty of. Listen, I see so many people saying that they had to open up their PlayStation. They could open up their PlayStation 2s and switch out hard drives and things like that. Yeah, why do you still have to do that in 2020 with a brand new piece of hardware with all of this tech? So you telling me you can have the best SSD known to mankind, but you couldn't make it more efficient to just have something where to put people's storage at? I'm not buying it. I'm not trying to hear
Well,
that I'm lazy. It's just the fact of just wanting to be realistic. And look, this product is not. The PlayStation 5 is not more
yo, Mega.
it's not more capable than what the competition is. Period. Everything that look, you've seen somebody that's trying to make a design to fit to make sure that thing don't get overheat, but then also cut back on cost for efficiency for the lack of efficiency. That to me that's not high tech. That's just trying to save pennies.
Mega, check this out. Check
Woo!
this out, Mega. Now, this
Yeah,
this is something real fun. And again, panel members, please stay patient. I gotta say this because we're talking
yeah,
about the SSD right now.
yeah.
Sony touted its SSD speed. Oh, before I say that, hold on, yo, I got to shout out Bounty Boom right now. Bounty Boom hitting up that super chat. What's up, brother? He says, "What's up, Xbot? What's up, panel? It's too accessible for a console, but I think that's what Sony is going for. So we mess it up and buy another one." Now, I can't say you're wrong. I can't say you're
Mm,
right. It's an opinion, brother. Yo, you know.
mm.
Shout out to Sir X-Man hitting up that super chat. He says, "Is it just me or the PS5 plastic look cheap?"
That's the point that I'm making. Now, look, okay, now you went back to the point of saying, and I'm going to wrap it up because I know I'm the first one, but I just the plastic. I think that's cool because that tells you that they're going to do a lot of customization with those sides, and I think that's going to be really cool, right?
See,
So
I think
that's a
I think the
go ahead.
shiny plastic, the black plastic, look cheaper than the plates did. So
Well, I mean, but the plates themselves, they it's going to make for from really cool customization for your PlayStation. So that part's going to be awesome. But again, it's like if they start selling those separately, then you know that they already knew that people are going to break those things, and they can sell those things for what for $20. So it's like to me, it's not. I don't want to. My console is meant to be placed. I get a Swiffer. I clean the dust around it. I get an air blower. I blow that bitch out, and then we keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? Plug and play. Plug and play. That's what's supposed to be consoles. Plug and play. I don't want to hear comparisons about a PC. The PlayStation 5 is not its GPU is not better than my damn GPU.
Fred,
I don't want to hear about that. I don't want to hear about that. Stop it.
Remember when there
Stop
was?
it.
I mean, yo, Mega. Remember when there was rumors of a modular Xbox possibly, and people
Yeah.
are like, "Yo, who wants to take a screwdriver and unscrew part of it to upgrade it with a different module, basically?" And it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, but check this out real quick, and then I'm gonna go to the rest
Okay.
of the panel. It's
All right.
basically food for you to kind of like think on. Sony's touting such an ultra fast SSD, whereas Microsoft, they have a fast SSD, but they talk more about the architecture that connects to that SSD. That's where their ingenuity is, right?
Mhm.
So, how much of this SSD that Sony has is truly innovative if you can take a off the shelf PC SSD and expand that memory that way? Like, is it the architecture connecting to the SSD, or is it the SSD itself? And for those die hard in the trenches Sony kind of like extremists out there, they were always touting that SSD. But if it's more on that SSD, then when you put games on the expanded SSD, your performance isn't going to be to the top level.
Right. And PlayStation is giving they haven't pulled out the list yet, but they said that there's only so many of those SSDs that you can use, and you know that people are going to go the cheap route, especially they're not going to spend
Actually,
$300.
Actually,
You know,
what they said, and this was, I believe it was Mark Cerny when he did, the first kind of like information and stuff. They said
mhm.
that they will kind of like there'll be like a mark. They'll approve certain SSDs. And
Right.
correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe they said as long as it's a certain speed, you can pretty much use any of those PC SSDs.
From
PCIe 4 and all that good stuff.
from what I heard from a PlayStation fan, I was doing a podcast. I can't remember which podcast that was. There was a
That's how
list.
many
There
you
was
do.
yeah. I don't know if it was Thrash or whoever, but if they were saying that you only use a certain amount of there was a list, and I don't know if it was like 9 or 12 somewhere around there of the certain SSDs that you can use, and right there. That tells me if the Mark Cerny situation is right, then okay, then go have at it. But if I'm going by what the PlayStation guy said, that if you got a list and they're supposed to show you a list, you think people are going to really follow that list, especially on the prices? I've already seen people already tell me that, look, man, I could buy me I could buy me $150 SSD and put it in. What if that shit starts shaking and baking? What you gonna do then? You're gonna have to dig that out, and you might have a problem because if it's not compatible, it might not work. Now, 9 times out of 10, you would think that it would, but I don't know. I digress. But I don't know. That's a good question though. That's a good question, Brian.
Nice. And
Mhm.
shout out to the humble beast real quick, hitting up that super chat. He said the Series X is at least 50% more powerful. Mesh shaders 20%, VRS 20%, 52 CUs, T-flop 20%, and Sony expect me to pay the same premium price as the SSX, for the PS5. He said, yeah, right. Yo, shout out to you,
Woo!
brother.
Hit him across the head, Beast.
Yo,
Hit him across the head.
there was another one. Yo, Sir X-Man, one more time, bro. He said, K Mega, what you saying is the PS5 is doing what the 360 used to do with changing your faceplate. Yeah. When it comes to those plates, and a lot of people have really compared it to that. I mean, it's a no-brainer for anybody who's been in gaming the past 2 generations. I mean, that's the first thing you think of when you see the PS5 and those plates. But I think Mega brought up a good point when it comes down to it. Once the consumer owns the PlayStation, what's going to happen with those plates over time? Like one on, one off, like that. I didn't even think about that, and that's a great point. Like they're gonna, and Sony's gonna be like, well, it's on you. You know what I'm saying? If you broke it, it's on you. So that's really interesting. But let's go to Crispy on this real quick. Yo, Crispy, did you check out the PS5 breakdown?
Yeah.
All right. Well, just to show that, I would like to hear what you think is the best thing that came out of that, right? And then go into your thoughts and opinions on it, and really quick before you do, so this way they don't back up on me, yo. Shout out to Master Sith 40 hitting up that super chat. Casual uncle reaction to PS5 was, what the fuck? Yo, I don't even know who that is. That's probably another YouTuber, right? No, nobody knows.
I have
We
no,
don't-
No idea, dude.
You know what? If you follow me on Twitter, yo, send a link to that reaction. I would love to see it, man. But Crispy, share something you liked, so this way, people aren't like you're absolutely hating on it. But then I want to get your overall thoughts. Your likes and dislikes. What you think about the design and whatnot.
Well, I mean, the panels are cool because they do come off.
Mhm.
We don't know about the one below it though. I mean, is there only one that really comes off?
They're two
Oh,
side
you mean how they
panels.
just pop off?
What
I mean,
happened?
I'm asking him a question. You mean like how they both pop off, like on the?
yeah.
I think they both came off because when you watch him undo it, he pulls both of them off.
Well, I mean, this guy's the same dude that did the what was it, the PS4 breakdown, if I'm not mistaken. So, I like the side panel for the fact that I think that like people are gonna do some really cool things and like be able to like spray paint them and like do some graffiti and stuff like that. I think that would be really cool.
Oh,
You also have you have the
Crispy gonna get one and take these panels to the airbrush artist at the mall.
Why not? I mean, you could really. Why not? I mean, you pay for the product. You could do whatever you want with it. The only thing that I asked on Twitter is does this void the warranty? I'm a little off put on how they went about this. It's like you have your SSD and whatnot. I feel like they're trying to just have you plug it through a USB and do exactly what Xbox is going to do, but they haven't clarified that. It's pretty incredible how they don't want to clarify anything. Like, what are you? Because your SSD. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that it's not really good. Okay. But when it comes down to it, you're probably looking at 1 to 5 seconds, somewhere between there, of better load times. That's what you're looking at. What Xbox has done is a totally different thing. They went, okay, we're going to actually go full circle and go back to what PlayStation used to do with the memory cards. A lot of people don't remember the memory cards.
Mm-hmm.
And we are going to, it's going to plug right into the system memory. And that's what it's going to do. And this takes away bottlenecks. It takes away taking apart the damn system, doing anything like that. And clearly, the way everything's crammed in the Series X.
Crispy, real quick, I just want to let you know something, because I watched a few kind of like reactions and afterthoughts, and somebody made a great point when it came to these plates on the side that could be removed. because of the heat sink. And we're going to get into the topic of heat when it comes to both of these consoles as well. But I think it might have been Spawn Wave. I think it was the Spawn Wave channel, and he said, you know what? Those panels, the way that they have them, is perfect to keep your hands away from the heat of the console because they're extended out a little bit. There's space in between, and the way that they hook in. And I think that's exactly what they did. And they're like, oh, we can make these interchangeable. But I think the key feature of those plates is to keep your hands off of the actual console to not feel the warmth coming off from the tech inside.
That's actually interesting. I didn't even think of it like that. And the weird thing is that that the fan itself it's supposed to suck in air. So where's the air coming out of? I'm a little confused on that because everybody's saying it's sucking in air, so it blows cold air into wherever it needs to go. And I'm just a little confused on where the air actually comes out.
Out the back, all the way along the back.
So that maybe that's like, I mean, they explained, at least without me even seeing words, because obviously it was on a Japanese channel. I didn't watch like I mean they showed like, oh, this is the GPU, this is the C, like they showed little things, but I didn't understand what he was saying. Obviously, I don't speak Japanese, but I was like,
really, Crispy? I was like, damn it! That was one of the reasons why I brought you on this panel. Now I gotta think about it.
Oh man, that's sad on your part. But it's just one of those things. Like, I saw the reason why they designed the console the way they did, and I understand it in some way. But I'm also a little off put. Like we're going from like you just would have to unscrew a door in the back of a console on at least their past gens, or even just pop like half of the front part of the console off and put in a new hard drive. And it's a little weird that they went to this like total route of like, okay, you got to pop this thing off. And if you actually look at the video, because I've watched it a few times, he literally is bending the corner like really bad. Like,
well,
like to the
all
point.
right. Let me play devil's advocate on that one. All right, let me do that. Now, granted, this was kind of like one that they had ready for a breakdown, so that should have been kind of like looser and everything. And when you first get the system, you are gonna definitely be careful when you're doing stuff like that. Hopefully you're gonna be careful. Hopefully you're not giving this to like some 7-year-old like kid, hepped up on pixie.
Those are good assumptions. I mean, those are good assumptions.
But over time, if you notice the way the clasps are, over time they will kind of like I hate to use the word break because I don't mean it like that, but kind of like break in, where it becomes easier to take them off, put them back on. You know the deal when you kind of like you.
Well, and I will say this: I would actually, at least for the consumer themselves, I would feel more comfortable if they actually had screws involved. I'm just saying.
K Mega, you got anything to say about that?
Kind of weird, but I mean, if you got a screw involved with the, if you got a screw involved with the stand, I don't see why you couldn't do that. With these parts, like, yeah, you might have a little nub that you got to pull off, and then just to make the console still look sleek and look
crispy. I just want
the way it should be.
Crispy, I just want to ask you. Well, I want to ask everybody this question, but Crispy, this is since you're talking, real quick. Didn't you find it weird that you had to do so much just to, when you unscrewed it, move that panel, that bottom part into something, plug a little piece into the console, and then place that thing on top of the lid to open it? I mean, couldn't it have been a lot easier? I mean, don't that seem like that's a little excessive, a little bit?
Well, and you know what? I will go at this. I think they were going for the way it looks because they knew it was going to be large.
Mm-hmm.
And it does look it looks good. I mean, it doesn't look great. I would prefer the Series X. I feel like it would be less of a nuisance on my eyes. Like, I'd be like, damn, is that thing running hot or what? Like, I don't, you know what I mean? Like, I'm a little off put of how they designed it. And, you know, with that heat sink, I mean, that thing is, like, I said it before. It's like, it seems like it's as big as the Series S, bro. Like, that's crazy. Like, and everybody's touting this liquid metal BS that apparently
heat sink
dries
makes the
up.
Nintendo Switch look small. Let's be real.
Yeah, actually, there's an even better example. But like that liquid metal, it's not necessarily cooling. Like it's like a soldering technique, which is actually has been proven to be not too great, I guess. I don't understand what they were trying to show there. I need somebody like Digital Foundry to show me. That's what I need. I'm sorry. Like you know, Xbox already did this. They did this. We're almost hitting 6 months ago. I mean, come on. Like, just do it. Like, what are we doing here? It's a controlled environment, clearly. Okay. Like, why don't you hand this console to people that know what the heck they're doing also? And it boggles my mind.
Anything else, brother?
No. I'm not K Mega. It's okay.
Okay, I got you, man. Yo, guys, if you haven't done it yet, hit that thumbs up button. You can see the passion, the AKA passion that's going on right now with the panel. I think we need to let people know. Share this out. Let people know that we are getting in on this right now. Let people know that they should be here checking out the next podcast and hearing all the energy coming from the panel. And with that being said, of course I got to go to Predator. Pred, you checked out the breakdown, right?
Of course.
All right, man. You heard K Mega, you heard Crispy. Another thing, good, because I'm trying to put in things that I kind of liked about the system. Now, Mega brought up the stand and the screw and all that good stuff, and they could have just made some half-ass way if you're gonna take it out of the vertical. I do kind of like having that little doorway on the bottom of the stand to put the screw in and to take out that little rubber stopper. I know 9 times out of 10 people are gonna lose that rubber stopper, but there are some people out there that really kind of overly take care of their systems, and they'll have that thing there like the entire time. I thought that was a cool kind of like attention to detail when it came to how you're gonna, like, where you're gonna put these little pieces. So I thought that was a cool idea. But dude, let us know, man. What are some of the things you liked about the breakdown? What are some of the things you disliked, and kind of like your overall view, bro?
Let me see. So one of the things I did like, and I know we kind of discussed this, like the panels. You could take them off and replace them, and like Crispy was saying, you could take and get it airbrushed. I was thinking more of like the aftermarket stuff, like people actually selling, like those panels, like to pop on, like with different designs on them and stuff like that. Whether it's like like cyberpunk version, like where they have a whole graphic on there and stuff like that. So that aspect of it, I think, depending on the price, would be a good deal, because there's a lot of people out there who could actually do that shit and create that same mold and just, hey, this is the skin in a sense, but it's just plastic. Or the mods you do, or maybe they'll make a clear case, maybe they'll make something like that, or something more ventilated, where the air flows a little bit better, actually through it. Through that plastic piece a little bit better instead of going through the system like they have it showing now. But that's really like the only thing I took out of that I liked. Everything else was like, it just looked like a generic console. I mean, it's going to suit its purpose. It was huge. That was the first thing I saw. Pog Station. Like, that thing's huge. Fat ass white girl. For y'all that don't know.
I was like, oh
yeah.
PAWG.
Yeah.
I've been saying that for weeks now. No one's caught on to it.
and we're talking about, like, the ass, not just the girl being fat, but the oh, that little bladder's over here working overtime.
Cold-blooded. That was cold-blooded.
So, but once he I did have some issues with the SSD. I actually, so as I went back and y'all were talking, I went back and looked and said, what side is the SSD on? It's actually on the bottom of the console when you lay it flat in the configuration it had. The not that there's a big difference, like it's a big deal or anything like that, but like, it's on the bottom side. So you actually have to flip it upside down to put the new SSD in, instead of like if you had it laying flat the way they have it shown and you could just pop the lid off. Like I think a design flaw would have been, well, I think that was a design flaw to me. If they would have made it like a case on a computer, on a PC, where you can just like lift and maybe push down a latch and lock it away, that would have been a better configuration to me. And you can just pop the SSD in and out. The way I have it set up now, if you're actually laying it on this like flat, you have to pick it up, flip it upside down, take that piece off, and then do all the other shit you got to do to pop it in. Most people that I know that have an SSD, you pad that SSD, like the NVE too. You put padding on a heat sinks or whatever on it, and I don't know if that's going to be capable with that configuration. It looked like there was room in there to do that, but I don't know. You know what I'm saying, when you put the little pads and little heat sinks and stuff like that to keep it cooler, because those things do run hot too. Like mine actually has a temperature gauge on my PC where I can actually gauge my my Evo and I can see how hot it is. So I can like regulate the heat on it. But those things do run kind of hot too, which is going to add more heat to the console. I think that was kind of a design flaw. I think if you're going to lay it flat, and they could have given you an option to kind of lift it up, like just lift it like a hinge on the back end or something like that. Y'all hear me? Or did we lose everybody?
I'm listening. Okay,
because everybody's being quiet. Like,
we're just listening.
Yo, this is Predator school time. Predator is the teacher.
Last time this happened, like, and I was sitting there talking, the show cut off.
Yeah, shout out to Google and YouTube for that whole thing.
Like, shit, did I lose everybody again? So that, to me, that was a design flaw. The heat sink is huge. It looks like a fucking car radiator. It's enormous. I mean, I like how they said it produces something similar to Velocity architecture on there. Like, it's not Velocity architecture. It's not even similar to it. So, but I thought it was that thing. To me, it looks like everything in there was like so big, and it didn't look innovative. You know, like when you build something for the first time, you use the biggest parts you could find, and then as things evolve over time, you make it smaller and smaller and smaller. There seemed like there was so much they could have done, and I'm not an engineer, so don't knock me in the chat for this, but like for people like Sony's engineers who are engineers to make something this huge, I think it's a misstep. I think it's like, I have armor plates in the military that are smaller than this thing. So I'm just like looking at this, like, why did you make it so big? And when you compare that to the Xbox Series X, I don't remember what the Series S looks like, but the X, it's like it's a split fucking motherboard. It's like they're putting so much tech into that, and it's like they just said, "Hey, let's just go with a traditional motherboard, and we'll make a big ass fucking heatsink, and we'll put the only innovative thing in there is the SSD. Everything else is just like some shit that you could build with a regular PC. They didn't do anything innovative with the system. They just put, oh, there's a heatsink. We need that. Okay, draw this up. Let's put this SSD on this motherboard. Okay, we're good with that. And let's put a fan in it. Okay, like we've seen that fan before in places. Let's, all right, close it up in a piece of plastic.
Well, yeah, I'm pretty sure they they went in and they customized their system on a chip as well. Same way Xbox did. But
yeah, that's normal though. Yeah,
I can see what you're saying. Like all the way around, they use the wide ass motherboard, and instead of getting a little more innovative using like the split motherboard technique, stuff like that. I can see where you're coming from, bro.
Yeah, I mean, the presentation, I will knock that too, because when Xbox did it, they gave it to somebody to do. They didn't use an in-house guy. I think, but didn't Crispy, you say they did this last year, right, with the PS4, right? PS3 or whatever. The same guy did this. He did it.
PS4, yeah, he did the same one 7 years ago. Yeah.
Sorry, Emmanuel, you're right. They did say vapor chamber. That was my mistake. My bad. You're right. But yeah, they everything with this console that they did this week was all in-house, and it was controlled. That just screams something's wrong to me. That's just me. It's just like, why don't you put this in the hands of other people outside of Sony PlayStation?
I think
Fred,
I think.
can I ask a question? Can I ask Fred a question? Because I was gone away today for most of the day, so I still have people coming after me for what I said on Twitter, and so I want to get your thoughts on this. Okay, so somebody sit there and said, my take was awful, right? And they said using standard M.2 SSD slots is much better idea than using proprietary whatever. Proprietary tech for the consumer.
Proprietary.
Yeah, I can't say that shit.
No, I got it. I got it for you, bro.
Thank you, because I got you last week, so you got me. I'm over here drinking, so never mind. So anyway, he says any PC SSD that matches the PS5 speeds can be used, and there will be more in the future as time goes on. You know what I'm saying? So what do you think about that? I mean, because
they haven't actually officially signed off on any of them yet. First of all,
right?
Let's put it that way. So
yeah.
Yes, will they come? Yeah, at some point in time. They have to get signed up by Sony at some point. But here's the thing. If you go to a store right now to pick up an SSD, do you know if you can use that SSD on your PlayStation 5? It's average Joe consumer. There's not going to be a sticker on there, PS5 compatible. Like, that's not going to be there. Like,
right.
Like, you might just grab the wrong shit. Like, if you don't know, then you don't know. Like, you might just walk in there, oh, my son needs extra memory for his thing. And if the people are trained, they should be able to tell you this is what you need. But average Joe walking in the store doesn't know shit. They're just going to grab NVMe2, 250 gigs, 500, 1 terabyte, 2 terabyte. Fuck this. Let's get this 250. They're going to get the cheapest one. They're going to walk in the store. They're going to
that's my point. It's like, look, because they know that already COD is going to take so much. COD's going to take so much.
100,
that's going to take about 200. You know what I'm saying? 150 to 200, and then you go ahead and you try to buy this. I'm not understanding. Look, listen. I don't. It's fine for how you want to try to spin it, but like it's more important for, you would think that Sony, knowing that they wanted people to use this type of technology to make it more efficient for people to just get inside the box, or have something to where they could just they could easily put a slot to where they could slide that thing in and then have it clip.
Yeah, like I said, just have like a little push button thing.
Well, don't you have to, like, from what I've seen from like
you have to screw it
builds and stuff like that, you have to screw those in.
You have to screw it in.
Yeah.
The other, let me answer the other part of Ken Mega's question. So I don't like how either company did it, to be honest with you. I would have loved to just been able to get an enclosure and pop it in. But I know they're trying to make, what I'm saying, plug it into a USB-C or something like that and work it that way, because that's how I do it with mine. I have an enclosed, I don't mean like the big square motherfucker SSD. I mean like the NVE type, you can get enclosures for those and actually use them externally. So I would have liked for that to have been an option. I do know that Microsoft came out today and they said that the Seagate thing is just, it's for now. And I mentioned this, I think, a couple of weeks ago. You'll see more people making that hard drive, that SSD. It won't just be Seagate. It's just going to be Seagate for now. Other people will make them too. So don't be shocked that you like Seagate. If you think like they had a partnership with Seagate with this it's the 1X. So obviously they're going to have a partnership.
Wasn't that a topic? I got to check, man.
Is it? If it is, I might be jumping the gun. Tell me if I am.
I'm checking. Yeah, I'm checking. No. Go, well, keep talking. Keep doing what you're doing.
Okay. So I'm just saying, like, it isn't just going to be proprietary to Seagate. You'll start seeing other people make them at some point in time. When that is, I have no fucking clue. So I wouldn't be too concerned about that. And Seagate, when they've done hard drives for Xbox before, they've always been expensive. That's why it's $219. But you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if you see Western Digital make something. If you see, Samsung make something. It's just, to me, I think their fault is like now it's nothing else can use that. Like every company has to make their own hard drive specifically for the Xbox, whereas the NVE M.2 that you can use in Sony's, you can use that on your PC. You can use that in other places. Yeah. So if I start seeing things that, like let's say there's a slot like that on a PC or a Surface or something like that, and I can actually plug that into a Surface tablet or Surface Book or something like that, and I'll start seeing that become more mainstream, then that's different. But right now, that's the only place I can use that card, and that SSD is on a Series X. or Series S. Period.
And Pred, again, this is something because people have been talking about the speed of the SSD for the PS5 and what you said right there about using like straight off the shelf when it comes to the PS5, and I haven't really heard a lot in terms of the technology that's connecting, to the SSD. Which with the Xbox, it's velocity architecture with a fast SSD.
Yeah, if I buy a Evo, a 980 Evo Plus, from Samsung, which is a really expensive SSD, and I plug it in to my PlayStation 5,
you're gonna get
right?
that Evo performance because
yeah, is it though? Like, we assume it is, but like I want to see the difference. And that's what I was about to get into. Like, we have seen the difference between the SSD and the Xbox loading up a game from 2013 or 2015 till now. We've not seen that in the PlayStation 5. Now, I'm not saying it ain't gonna be there. I'm sure it's gonna be some significant speed changes, but like we don't actually know what the speed difference is going to be. We've not seen that yet. That's one of those unanswered questions we haven't seen yet. We've seen the console teardown. People say we've seen games running on it. Okay, Ratchet and Clank, and I forgot maybe 2 other games, but like, who's had those in their hands?
Well, you want to make it faster, just blow in the controller, bro.
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! He had to say that while you were talking with that picture up in the circle.
I'm just saying, like, I would like to see, like, and I know this is a topic. I would like to see more games with other people playing them. Not just the ones they've shown us. Like, I've never seen anybody with their hands on a controller playing a game that they're actually going to make use of that SSD. And I can say the same thing for the Xbox side.
Yeah, I was going to say, I say the same thing on both sides.
But Xbox isn't like making it seem like this is the end all be all for their console, whereas PlayStation 5, that's like their selling point. Super fast SSD, it's the best thing ever. Blow here. So like I don't know. I mean, I want to see that. Like they're touting it so much. Let's pull it out. Let us
show everybody.
Drop it on the table, baby.
So,
let's go.
I expect in the next couple of weeks, we'll start seeing the console in other people's hands that actually get their mitts on it and do some things to it. Like, I would love to see Digital Foundry do something with it and tell us what it is.
Well, they have to actually touch it and break it down. That's what I want to say.
And it goes back to what I said before. Everything about this console has been held in house.
So basically, between what Predator and Crispy just said, they need to whip it out, show everybody, and then Digital Foundry has to touch it. That's exactly what they said.
Yeah. Just touch it. Just a little smidge.
Yo, real quick. Yo, shout out to Sir X-Man hitting up that super chat one more time. He said, you saw they broke the black warranty label seal. Yes, they did. They broke that warranty seal, but that was after they showed where to expand the memory. That was after they took off the side plates.
That was on the other side. That was on the top side.
Well, that was to get into
not on the
stuff,
SSD side.
That was to get into the stuff that you as a consumer are not supposed to touch. And I think there was one more I heard.
But what's right side up though? I don't know.
They got little triangle, square, X circle kind of like embeds for the stand for when you lay it on its side. So
that actually let me think about something real quick. So that fucking drive took up a lot of space. So what is in there when they took it out? Like,
well, that
why
drive.
Did they make a smaller version of it like we did with the Series X?
That if you're talking about the disk drive, the optical drive, it looks like they just stuck that on the side. They made the overall look like decent. I like the PS5 with the optical drive more than I like the all digital one. I don't know why, but I definitely thought that was cool. But yo, shout out to Bounty Boom hitting up that super chat. He says, all I have to say is we still have questions. Yes, we do. And mine. And I know, there's going to be people out there that call me a PlayStation hater or whatnot. I was skeptical about the SSD and what was going on in terms of expanding the memory and all that good stuff because they were touting the SSD as the main point, not the architecture that connects to the SSD. And shout out to my brother Optimus Code. I think the whole 10 channel kind of like situation that connects to the SSD. I think that does give it a lot in terms of like a 3 channel kind of like pipeline that the information runs from the SSD into the system. But they don't really tout all that. It's all about the speed of the SSD. So what happens when you put in an SSD that isn't as fast? Is it going to be lower performance, or what's going on? Those are the questions I'm asking right now as a gamer, and these are things that they haven't really answered. So, anything else, Pred, before we go on to Dark over here?
Nay, I know
All
he's
right.
waiting, so let him
All
go.
right, yo, everybody, clear the way. My West Coast brother is coming through with the PS5 breakdown, brother. Highs, lows. What did you think all around? I mean, you heard everybody on the panel. I don't know where you're gonna go with this, man. What's up?
Dude, it's all highs, you know. I mean, look at this fucking console. It looks sexy as fuck, dude. And no, what the fuck is wrong with you, Sony?
Yeah.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Ooh.
Why are you putting out a console this fucking big? Seriously, why are you doing this? This is bullshit. It's bullshit, and they know it. And they know that people are gonna break the shit out of these fucking things. They know it. They know it. It's inevitable. This
So you're
shit's gonna
saying
happen.
they made it this way on purpose because they knew people
Exactly,
were gonna.
because they know that they're gonna make more money off of these fucking consoles than anything else. It's completely bullshit. Why, oh why is it that fucking big, dude? I don't get it. It's too big. It's too big. Why?
Famous last words. It's too big, and why?
It's
I don't
just-
know if he's
it-
trolling us right now.
it's ridiculous, dude. No,
Crispy
no,
can't
I'm not
figure this
trolling.
out.
I'm not trolling you. It's fucking ridiculous. Okay, like this console, having to open it up in order to switch out fucking SSDs is completely ridiculous. Why? What's the point? Why couldn't they do something like what Xbox is doing, where you hook something up in the back of the console and then just plug it in? Why couldn't they do that? Why?
Well, they say
That makes no sense.
proprietary.
They
It's
did
gonna
it,
cost
but
people
no,
more.
dude. Listen, they did it with the fucking PS4. They did it with the PS3. Didn't they learn their fucking lesson? No, they didn't. So it makes me angry. I'm a very angry otter today. Like this is bullshit. I cannot believe I'm still getting the console and I'm still gonna play the shit out of the games that are coming to that console. But I'm not gonna be able to even move this thing at all. Period. I'm gonna be so afraid of breaking this damn thing. It's not even funny.
Dude, when you get it, are you gonna have it upright or are you gonna have it sideways?
No, I'm gonna have it horizontal.
Oh,
I mean the
You
way
put your
that
TV
my
on it. Oh wow. Here we
well,
go. Haven't heard that in a while, by the way.
the way that the way that my entertainment system is, it only can carry horizontal consoles. Period. Anyways, it would never even with the Series X, I would have to place it horizontal. It's just and the way I have my TV mounted, it's kind of like it's closer to. I would have to move my TV up more in order to even attempt to put those consoles horizontally. It's just, man. I mean, I saw the breakdown when I was looking at it. I was just like, I hope and pray to God that we can put an external hard drive on, use external SSD hard drive or external hard drive period on this damn console. Maybe not to play games off of it, but to maybe switch games from hard drive to the console, and and they haven't even said anything about that. I mean, they did say something with Mark Cerny, just a little bit, just a little snippet of it, but it wasn't. They never went into detail what external SSD hard drives you can use. They never went into what internal SSD drives you can use. Like they're very secretive about everything. They're acting like they're fucking Apple, dude. And they're not Apple.
Oh,
You're not
damn.
Apple. You're not. You're just not. You're kind of the low end of the totem pole. I'm just saying. You kind of are compared to Microsoft and Apple. You are completely below that. I mean, you might be like third or fourth somewhere on there, but you're below them for sure. It's just it makes no sense to me, man. Like this whole console makes no sense to me. As the games make sense, of course, like I like the games, but the console itself makes no sense to me at all. Like why? Why do you have to open it up to put in another hard drive? Why? Why
that
in
would be
fucking
another
2020 do we have to still keep doing that? You had to do that with the PS3, you had to do that with the fucking PS4. Why? Makes no sense at all.
Well, maybe
And
they think
I want answers to that.
maybe they
dude,
think their diehard PlayStation people are kind of like used to it. I guess. Like
I guess, but that's the thing. Like I'm not gonna do that. I am not gonna open up that console just to put a new fucking hard drive in it.
Ooh,
What
and
I'm
with
gonna
that,
have to,
with
what
the
I'm
space that's in there already. Now, granted.
what I'm gonna have to do is probably just download games and then delete them.
You know what they'll tell you? Well, you can always buy another PS5.
Well,
Your TV has more
here's
HDMI.
has this question been answered? Can you use your hard disk drive on there because
You can
Xbox already-
you can use it. It's just you can't play games off of it. That's the thing.
So
And then like
are they going to allow you to move them? I don't.
I'm not sure. I have no one knows, dude. That's the problem with this whole thing.
See, that's
No
why I
one
love
knows.
you, dude, because you're just calling out what you see,
I'm
bro, and I
calling out
appreciate that,
bullshit,
man.
yes. I mean, I mean, I'm gonna get both consoles. I've been trying to get in a Series X for a while, and I'm still gonna try to get a Series X. But it's like I don't. I mean, you know me, guys. You know that I play mostly like single player games, so I gravitate towards PlayStation more. But this is ridiculous. This is completely. This is not. This is not like I'm not.
So hold
I'm
on,
not.
real
I'm not
quick.
a.
Real
Go ahead.
quick, just to put it in proper perspective, because you know me, I don't, when you guys go off and you got so much energy, I do my best to
Yeah,
not
yeah,
try to cut in.
yeah.
But are you basically saying that when it comes down to it, the PS5 isn't necessarily the most consumer friendly product coming out?
No, it's like old Microsoft when they weren't consumer friendly. Now that they are consumer friendly, it's like it's way better. Like back in the day, with Vista, Vista, man, that was not consumer friendly. You know
Yeah,
that
you're
for
right about
sure.
that.
Like that fucking that operating system was shit.
Yep.
So like it's like come on, guys. Like I get that you guys were the top dogs this freaking generation, but what are you doing? What are you doing right now? Like it makes no sense. You guys are not putting this in the hands of people that really want to take a look at it, like Digital Foundry, people like that. Like what's going on here? You're concerning me with the console wise, not with games. I mean, they got games. I mean, there's gonna be games for it. There's gonna be games that I want to play on it. It's really the hardware. Like how finicky am I gonna have to be with this damn thing? How precious am I gonna have to be with it? It doesn't because the guy, I mean, the guy, you could tell he was a smaller dude, so that the average American is probably a lot bigger
It was
than
like
that dude.
6'2", man. What are you talking about?
Okay, yeah, okay.
Wow.
Could you imagine if that console looks that big and he's 6'2"?
Yeah, dude,
Oh
that's what
God,
I was
yeah.
thinking.
I mean,
like,
I'm
holy
I'm
crap.
6'2", and I would be
They
like,
should have had Yao Ming do it, bro.
that's
Come
the
on.
thing. The dimensions, 15 inches.
That guy that did that was 6'2".
No, I'm joking.
it was a joke.
Oh,
No.
Yo,
I'm
King
like,
I mean,
Mega's
look
about
at
to
look
go
at the
off.
dimensions. Look at the dimensions. 15 inches, 8 inches, 4 inches. That's pretty big. I mean, especially the 15 inches. That's high up there, man. I mean it's
Yo,
ridiculous.
I gotta applaud.
no
I
lady
gotta.
is going to give you any playtime.
Oh man, see, I was gonna. I was gonna. First off, I gotta applaud Fred because I
You
know
get
he was
messy.
thinking throughout that.
I mean,
whole
Yes,
thing,
I
I'm not
did say
done,
something. I
but
whispered it really soft though.
I think at the end of the day, like the console is gonna be, is gonna be what it is. But it's like, man, I don't know, man. I'm so over this whole fucking. I just want the consoles to be out right now, so then we can just enjoy games again. Because I'm sick and tired of people fucking online complaining about bullshit. Like we'll get into it later, but the fucking overheating shit is so stupid. Like that crap. Just get the fuck out of here with that. Like the one thing I think that was good about about them showing the console was that we actually got to see it. That was about it. Like we actually got to see something, from them
And I
finally.
completely agree with you, dude. Like
It's
that,
like
that is
it,
the
it
most important thing.
the rest of it was just kind of like, come on, like no one's gonna want to open up their console. No one treats their consoles like it's a fucking PC. No one does that. No one. I mean, even last
Not when
generation,
they
even
can
this
play on their
last generation.
phones, bro. Like they
Well,
can play
even
on their
this
phone.
this last generation with the PS4, in order to get a higher HDD drive into your console, or a higher, I think it was like two terabytes or something like that. It could only go, but in order to get it higher, you had to buy a fucking add-on to it. I'm so sick and tired of these fucking add-ons, even with Microsoft too, dude. Why are they fucking doing this external SSD? This should not even be happening. We should at least have at least 2 terabytes of
I mean, I will
hard drive
disagree with
space
you on that.
in
That's
our
price
consoles.
point. That's price point, dude. That's
Yeah,
like
I
really-
know, but these consoles, both of these consoles should have at least 2 terabytes. I'm sorry, but they should.
I agree with you completely. You're absolutely
They-
right. I
two,
mean,
two
they should
terabytes
not-
of ultra fast SSD. Do you know how much you're gonna be spending on the console then?
I mean, you're gonna be spending a lot more, yeah, but I mean, they could take a loss on that shit. I mean, they would. They did it in the past. Why wouldn't they do it now?
yeah, well, you're talking hundreds of dollars, not just like like $20 to $50.
I don't
Yeah,
give a
I
fuck.
think
It
they're
should be about
already-
us. It shouldn't be about them. We should be.
Well, you're right about that. Actually, yeah, you're right.
You know,
You're right.
like it should be about us. Fuck them. They don't give a shit about us. They don't. No, neither Microsoft or Sony gives a shit about you.
And
They don't care.
that's why you're getting a 1 terabyte fucking hard drive.
Right, exactly. That's exactly what it is. Exactly, you're exactly right. And it's bullshit. But
Wait, you're not getting 1 terabyte in PS5.
I know, and you're not even getting 1 terabyte in a freaking PS5. You're getting a freaking 825 gigabytes, and then it's not even. Then it goes probably down to like 600 something. It's like, Jesus Christ, man.
That's another thing in and of itself, like the size.
I mean, I don't put that many games on my console anyways, but still, I'm thinking about the
You have to
average
now.
consumer. I put maybe like 6 or 7 on my console at a time, and it's usually what I'm playing at that moment. And then I usually delete them off the console and stuff. But I'm thinking about the average consumer. The average consumer is not going to want to spend more money when they just got these damn consoles. I mean, yes, us hardcore will do it because that's how we are. But I'm thinking about, the casual market, the people who have kids, things like that. Like, people aren't going to want to spend extra money in order to get these consoles to have more memory and more this and more that and accessories. You're not fucking Nintendo. Like, Nintendo sells their consoles for cheap, but then they sell their accessories for like fucking ridiculous prices. They fucking make
that never go
they make those
never go on sale.
exactly, that never go on sale. You are not Nintendo. You cannot do this to people. Sony and Microsoft, you can't do it. It's ridiculous. I can't believe that they're doing this to everybody.
well,
I mean, granted, yeah, console gaming has become more of an expensive hobby. I mean, of course, things are going to be more expensive, but at the end of the day, I mean, I could see a lot of people being like, "Man, fuck this, fuck opening this thing up, fuck putting an extra SSD in this thing." I could see a lot of people just being like, "I'm just going to get a normal hard drive, put those games on there, and then transfer them over to my console when I'm ready to play them."
And do you know you can do that?
Exactly. I know you can do that, but
I mean, it's logical, but I mean,
but you know how annoying that is, though. Like that
lost my trophy.
shouldn't even be a
First
thing.
world problems.
Yo,
It is first world problems. You're absolutely right.
the Angry Otter is absolutely animated tonight, guys. Yo, if you haven't done it yet, hit that thumbs up button. Let people know where you are right now. You just witnessed an Angry Otter rant. Yo,
I'm mad at everybody, man. I'm mad at every fucking console this year.
Yo, for real. Yo, real quick, yo, shout out to Sir X Fan. This was a little while ago, but he says in the super chat, I would hide the PS5 behind my sound bar. It's ugly. Now, brother, are
You
you?
wouldn't even be able to hide it behind your
I was
sound
gonna
bar.
say, don't you think you probably need one of those kind of like mid 1980s boom boxes or something like that? To
Yeah.
put in front of it, like it's not gonna work with the sound bar, man. It's just
You
gonna
know that's
look
just big when you got to put it on a Lazy Susan.
it's gonna look like it's.
Oh, and the whole stand thing, like why are we unscrewing things and
Oh my goodness.
doing that shit? Like why are we
Hey
doing
Mega,
this?
you
Why?
created
Otter,
this.
Otter,
by
you're
the way.
done. You're done.
No,
Otter.
bro. Like I mean, these people are like I'm over here getting. I'm still getting slammed. I love it
Lazy
because
Susan.
they are so upset because I'm just telling the truth. Like I mean,
No, you're absolutely right, dude. I think it's
it's
completely ridiculous for you to
yeah.
have
Like I mean, I've been
unhook
opening up just
the
right there.
stand and
Yeah.
then hook it back up to put it horizontally.
I had a good.
I've been opening up my PlayStation since PlayStation 2.
What
How's
about
that sound overall? Like, let me say, I've been opening up the Xbox since the OG Xbox. For anybody logically from that's outside looking in, that's not a stan, would say, why haven't
why?
Microsoft innovated to where you don't
Yeah.
have to open up the Xbox? That's the whole
You
thing. It's
don't
just like
have to open up the Xbox, but you do have to buy something externally, and you do
right,
have to buy something that I think is completely ridiculous. That
plug
shouldn't
it,
be
yeah,
$200
plug
and
and
some
play.
All right,
dollars.
guys.
Oh, no, I get that part, but I mean, the prices is astronomical. That's just what
yeah,
we
that's
because
Seagate
again,
trying to get the cash grab.
well,
That's what
no,
it
no,
Yeah,
no,
is.
no, no,
that's
no, 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 no,
yeah.
no. Because what else is going to be expensive is, I mean, 250 terabyte for $170 is not cheap. Like, I mean, and that's only 250 gigabytes. So just it's not.
You mean 2,000 gigabytes?
No,
Because
no,
two
no.
terabytes is a 2,000 gigabytes.
I didn't say terabyte. I said gigabyte. I'm talking about for
Oh,
the SSDs.
you're talking about
Yeah,
okay.
I'm talking about for the SSDs. So like the cost is going to eventually go down. But this is
Yeah,
another thing too. The gamers has been asking for this type of stuff. You're going to pay for it. That's the thing that really
true.
trips me out overall is that gamers has been
You're right.
asking it. We want bigger, better, we want faster, we want more powerful, and here they are. They're both providing this for you. They're going two different directions with it, but regardless, they're both giving it to you. So you're going to have to pay for it.
But
So
that's the thing. I didn't ask for it.
don't bitch.
Why am I having to suffer because of these other fuckers who won this shit?
Hey, they want speed, they want efficiency because this is the thing. I think overall, and I think the consoles
Hey,
too, because the
Woosah.
consoles has been so behind because compared to what PC has done the last two generations. It's that now that because they'll never catch up to PC because PC just keeps on re-innovating.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But if they can stay close within that barometer to where people can look like, well, man, I can actually think about getting me a console because it's a lot easier it's more accessible. Then that's the thing. Look, yeah, a hardcore PC guy probably won't mind opening up a PlayStation 4 or a PlayStation 5, I should
Yeah.
say. But
Mm.
for a casual who just wants to plug and play and don't want to do all that type of shit, that's the thing to me that makes it
You
crazy,
got this
man.
Series S, bro. Like, there you go. Like,
Well,
have
no,
a
no,
good
no.
day.
I'm just talking about from the PlayStation standpoint of it. It's like you should have like that design. I understand that you needed to make the console as big, and I'm not going to go and dog out for what it looks and things like that. Because, like I said, I don't. I'm caring about playing the games, but.
Yeah.
But standing that big bastard up tall, you better have that damn thing on the wall or you better have it somewhere low because if you don't have it, because if you have it anywhere close to where, because it will be an eyesore at that point because if you have it, if like I got my TV on my wall, if I stood the PlayStation 5 up, it would be over my television.
Yeah.
Staring you
Mine
Yeah,
in the
and
too.
that
face,
would be annoying. So therefore, like, do I have to adjust my TV? I mean, to raise up my television to
But that's
unscrew
why
everything?
I have to put that's why I have
Yeah,
to put mine horizontally.
right,
I mean, I
yeah,
wanted to put it
right,
vertically, but then when I found out the dimensions, I was like,
yeah,
Jesus Christ, dude!
yeah,
Like, there's
yeah.
no way I could be able to do it unless I moved my wall
It's
mount
bizarre.
up, and that's not going to happen. I'm not going to move
Yeah,
my wall mount up. That
and it's
takes
not,
much more time.
and it's not the, and it's not the end
Hey,
of the
listen,
world.
listen
Yeah.
up, guys. We need to move on.
Yeah,
Okay, we can move
yeah.
on, but it's not the end of the world. But
I've been
I'm
waiting
just tripping
for.
out because I'm still got people coming at me about this shit, and it's funny because they're just saying, hey, you got a choice between this, and you're bothered because you have to open up a console because it's designed to be opened up and have memory added. It shouldn't have to be that way. It's a
Exactly, it shouldn't.
new console. That's the point. If this was the PlayStation 4, I wouldn't say shit. I'd be like, okay, I get it, but
Mega,
this is a new console for 2020.
Mega, you are gonna wear
We got
yourself
we
out
got cars
before
that
you
can drive
want
by
it.
themselves. We got cars that can drive by their damn selves. Sony couldn't put something in their shit to where they can slide it in. Get out of here. Get out of
Hey Mega,
here.
I got a super
Cold-blooded.
chat. Hey Mega, I got a super chat. Yo, shout out to Humble Beast hitting up that super chat. Thank you, brother, for all the love and support for the show. He says, "Yo, Meg." Oh man, this is K Mega. Yo, Meg. H5 gonna look glorious in auto HDR. Yeah. Dude, yeah. Oh man, the colors are gonna pop on that. That multiplayer gonna be fire. Red versus blue. Oh boy.
Oh wait, auto HDR. What is that?
Oh my goodness. Yo, guys, we got to get into this whole next gen consoles bringing the heat as a topic, man, cuz it's in the title.
Oh shit!
It,
We're supposed to be done already? Is
I've been
that what you're talking about?
I've been playing off words all day, Dark. But here's the deal. Series X have gone out to YouTubers, influencers, and the gaming media, and they've had their hands on them, for a little while now, and they've been playing them. And one of the things people are talking about is the heat that dissipates out of the top of the console. Even Jez Gordon from Windows Central said that during the winter time you can use this thing to keep your room toasty. And of course, people out on social media just kind of took that whole thing and ran with it, talking about overheating and all that good stuff. Now, you look at the PS5, you look at the heat sink that's in there, which is it's big enough to be its own console. You look at the fan and how big that sucker is. You look at the fan of the Series X and how big that sucker is. It looks like to me that both these systems are going to be running hot. And one of the things that Sony did again with those plates on the side is your hands aren't really going on the plastic that is surrounding that tech, is surrounding that heat. It's going to make it feel cooler to the touch as like an illusion. But and when it comes to the Series X, my opinion on that is if you have your console on now, what I would ask you to do is put your hand behind it. All right, because with the Series X, that those venting that would usually be behind a console that is shaped as a flat kind of like rectangular console, the air gets pushed out the back. So when you get a chance, put your hand behind the console you have now, and then remember that these new generation consoles, um, they are taking in more wattage from your home. I hope everybody's still with me here. I feel like I'm explaining a
Oh,
lot.
I'm here.
All
I'm here
right.
with you.
Now, one thing I will also say about the Series X, with having the venting going out the top, heat naturally rises. And I feel like the ventilation in the Series X was a really good idea, because heat that would normally sit in certain places within the console, since heat naturally rises and you got a fan blowing it out the top, all that heat is coming out of the system. But again, people are talking about the Series X in terms of overheating. I'm looking at the PS5 saying they didn't put that fan and that heat sink in there for looks or for weight. Okay, like they put that in there because with the new technology that they are using, both companies, there is going to be a lot of heat within these systems. So, where am I going? Where am I going? Let's go to Crispy. Let's go, Crispy. Crispy,
Oh,
you
you did
heard
that.
I'm pretty sure you've seen people talking about overheating when it comes to the Series X, talking about the heat that Jez Gordon openly talked about as well, saying, there might be issues here. And now all of a sudden with the PS5 breakdown, I see evidence that both these systems are actually going to be running warm because of the chipsets and what they are using. What do you think here, man? Do you think there's a reason to worry about one over the other? What do you think is going to be the situation when consumers get these systems in their homes? Do you think there is going to be a overheating issue, with either one, both of them, or you think that these companies have planned this stuff out and everything's going to be okay? What are your thoughts, man?
Well, let's just put it this way. My One X is it's always on. So it's running in idle right now. The thing is warm to the touch, for the love of God, people. Um I actually had the same thing, exact same message come up. A few, like, it was about 6 months after I got it, and my console, the back of it was too close to my wall. So a lot of people said the Scorpio, like, it's got problems. Like, I've heard that 100 times, which is funny because if you actually gave it enough room, like, I'm about, I'd say, a foot and a half away from the wall now, and I haven't had a problem since. And the thing's running on idle right now. You could if I put my hand on it, you can feel it running still, because, and it's off technically. Technically it's off, but it's still running. Okay? And it's warm to the touch. Okay? Like, let's get our heads together and realize that people that are not huge Xbox guys or are huge Xbox guys are trolling people at the same time, like Jez. Okay, just showed his fan, his desk fan.
Hold on 1 second. Dual purpose. One thing I do want to say, Sony in certain cooling situations are using existing PC cooling situations in a different way. All right. When it comes to the liquid metal being on top of the sock, because they actually there are PCs that are made with liquid metal cooling, but in a liquid cooling fashion that goes around the PC. Everything else you're looking at a standard heat sink, not a vapor chamber. You're looking at the fan, which is a dual. It's a dual kind of like suction fan, but it's not anything that is absolutely groundbreaking in terms of technology. So you saying that Sony invented new cooling systems, they innovated on certain existing cooling systems, but then again, so did Xbox in terms of having the ventilation coming out the top. Every single console has a dedicated spot on the console for warm air to blow out. And Xbox said, you know what? Heat rises. Let's put the fan on the top and get all the heat out that we can. So Sony didn't invent anything, bro. They innovated on existing technology. That's exactly what they did. And when you look at it on both sides, Xbox did the same thing as well. So I don't know where you're really going with that, brother. But
Well,
I do appreciate the comments.
it's called logic, bud. I mean, if you have at least done a few physics classes, you understand that hot air molecules actually rise because they actually get puffed up and they have more electrons involved, and then
Woohoo!
cold air molecules actually
Are denser.
basically become denser and they actually drop. So the whole point of it is that the Series X, the one thing I'm concerned about the Series X, number one, is that if it's on its horizontal area, is it going to do the same? Now, if you're going to put it in an enclosed case and everything, shame on you. That's your own damn fault. I'm sorry. Because like I said just before, my One X, which has brand new technology into consoles, by the way, with the vapor chamber and it has a partial liquid cooling, and it uses actually cold air that it's absorbed through the air that it absorbs. And guess what? It doesn't have this giant area for a fan on top of it like the Series S or the One S even. Like that's where the Series S is kind of the same damn thing, to be honest. Like it looks the same to me. It just has a big black circle there. That's all it does. It's the same damn thing. It's just doing it differently than what we're probably going to buy, at least on the panel, the Series X. The Series X is doing something totally different. And you have to understand that like all of this trolling from like somebody like Jez Gordon is just trolling. Like he's like, oh, if you hear noise, that's my desk fan that blows at me. Because you know what? Maybe he gets sweaty in games. I don't fucking know. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's stupid. Like that's why I put out that tweet today technically today, because it was like 2:00 in the morning. But yeah, like I just want to see the games. I want to see what Xbox is going to bring, because I truly believe when Aaron Greenberg says, they're coming, they're going to come, or he wouldn't have said it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's the whole point. Like, we're not hearing anything from PlayStation. We're not hearing, people with just regular hands like us, or they might be YouTubers, but they still they're sitting there and they're like, okay, let me analyze this console. And
did they,
NDAs.
Hold on, real quick, Crispy. Now let's be real here. We're comparing two different companies, all right? When it came to the PS4, did they hand them out to people so they can play games at launch? I don't remember them doing anything like that. You can like what Xbox is doing in terms of getting the influencers, gaming media involved, letting them take these systems home and really try them out. But I think Sony, and this is either right or wrong, but I think this is, if I'm reading them right, they feel they're doing it in a more professional manner. Like that's what
and
I
you
think
could say. You can say professional, but back in 2013, we were not on social media like we were now. Okay, and that's the huge point I have. Unfortunately, I work in retail. Okay, and I have the higher ups come down and say, well, this is what we're going to do. We're going to make your life harder, but you have to embrace change, because this is for the better. And you know what? It's harder to do as a whole company itself, but it's easier to do as me saying, okay, well, I'm just going to buy in even though I don't like it. You know what I mean? Because I'm this little guy, the big guys, so I feel like Jim Ryan is trying to push them forward, truthfully, but he's also trying to play into a narrative. And it's sad to me because PlayStation was never about the narrative when I was growing up. I'm sorry. Like they pushed innovation for a long time, and then Xbox came in and said, "Well, we're going to leave this internet connection in there even though you guys don't use it yet. And we're going to do that." But they didn't really tout it or anything. You had a Dreamcast over there,
when
like
Xbox Live
yes.
came out, they definitely touted it. Then they're like, "Oh yeah, by the way, check the back. Yeah, you can put
Yeah,
that in."
but guess what? Like that's when you do it. Like that's when I remember Xbox being so great. 360, like a lot of people don't realize that Gears literally made that console better.
He did it, people. He brought it to Gears. Like there's got to be people out there in the chat that they just wait to see when Crispy is gonna bring it to Gears. He did it, guys.
Well, you have to drink a beer after that.
Everybody drink up.
Yeah. So my point is that look, Microsoft really screwed up in 2013. I get it totally. Like they really did. Like I didn't even buy the console for a couple years in. Okay, I didn't because it was too high priced. They had a bunch of gimmicks like the Kinect with you can watch TV and stuff. No, I want a fucking game, bro. I'm sorry. And now we're seeing like blown in the controller, like this and that. But you're not telling me what you're getting from the PlayStation. I've said it, like, give me a SOCOM. I want to play Ghost of Tsushima. Guess what? I can play that on PlayStation 4. Guess what? Probably going to be able to play God of War Ragnarok on PlayStation 4. The way it's looking. Oh, wait. Spider-Man Miles Morales on the PlayStation 4. Well, Xbox sitting here like, okay, we got stuff sitting in the oven, and we just going to wait for you. We're going to wait to see what you do. And you know what? People can disagree with me. I'm fine with that. But you have to understand, I've seen Xbox get shit on for a whole generation. I've seen it. And the only thing that kept me there was Gears, to be honest. So I don't know what to tell you because it's going to change. And you're going to realize that this Game Pass thing that you might not buy into might actually mean something when you got Elder Scrolls, the uncut version there, and all these other things. You might just say, oh, you know what? I got to try that. And guess what? You can play that shit on your phone. Oh, how about them apples?
Damn, brother. Damn. And Crispy was the first, guys. So shout out to the panel. You guys are absolutely incredible, man. I love getting together every Thursday to hear stuff like this. Shout out to Sir X-Man hitting up that super chat. He said Dreamcast was the first to have a cooling fan. Fact. I'm not gonna disagree with you. You might be right there. I think you are right, actually. But Dreamcast was my favorite console anyway, so absolutely love that thing. Shout out to Sega for making my absolute favorite console. But let's go to Predator on this. Pred, you've been quiet for a while. You've been sitting there patiently waiting. And now I need to know, man. When it comes to heating issues, you see what's going on. People don't normally quote Jez Gordon in agreement. They're all of a sudden they're claiming every word that he says as absolute truth and pushing it to the extremes. You were talking about the breakdown of the PS5. We talked about the heatsink and everything like that. Do you think heat is gonna be it's gonna be a thing this next generation? Do you think there are gonna be any problems either with one or the other, or for both, man? What do you think is gonna happen here?
I don't think so. I think they've done enough. Like when they did the breakdown, they showed the liquid cooling on the PlayStation 5. I'm not a fan of that. I almost use it for my PC. I'm pretty sure Xbox is using the traditional thermal paste, which works just as fine. And there's not gonna be any issues with that. Like these chips run hot. Like you have a lot of power coming out of these things. Like my i9 that I have on my PC, it can run up to 90 degrees. Without that's how hot it can get if you don't have any kind of coolant on there whatsoever. So I can get it down to like 36 with thermal paste and the cooler and stuff like that, and it runs fine. It runs quiet. If I can get this to run quiet, I'm pretty sure they can get these to run quiet and not overheat and not have this fan revving up so much, But early in the generation, I will say the games that we're gonna play, I don't think they're pushing them. Now later on, in the generation as these things get hotter, we start, pushing the limits of the console, maybe. Because I've played on my PlayStation, I've played on my Xbox, and I've heard these things throttle. The fans have throttled because they're super hot. But right now, what the stuff they're playing on, anybody talking about heat right now is full of shit. They're not playing anything that will require anything to throttle, anything to overheat. We're playing last gen games.
Great. What now? Great point. Why do you say that, man? Like,
well, no one's played on the PlayStation, so they don't know. And then as far as the Xbox, they're playing last gen games that they haven't even been optimized yet. These are back compat titles, so
great.
They're not even pushing the limits of the console. So there was one guy that was talking about the SSD, the external SSD being hot. He over exaggerated like a motherfucker, like it was a potato coming out of the fucking microwave. But that's how he was acting. Now, is that going to run warm? Yes, because it's not a part of the coolant system of the Series X. It's like an external piece you're plugging in. But like I'm touching my actually it's not on right now. I'm touching my my external that I have plugged into my.
Craig, can you do me a favor? If ever on this show, you're like, I'm touching my.
Finish the sentence.
Yeah, please finish the sentence, dude.
That's me blowing into something. But like when I play on my One X and I have my my external attached to it, I'm playing a game off of it. I can put my hand on it and feel the heat coming off of it, but that's what things are supposed to do. You have power. That's what happens when you have things plugged into things. They get hot. They run heat, And if you really want to be technical, if I'm not mistaken, I believe the power consumption of the PlayStation is actually more than the power consumption of the Series X by like 60 to 80 watts or something like that. I can't remember where I saw that. I can't find it, but like they're hot. They're gonna run hot. They need cooling. They need something to help that. So it's got to push that heat somewhere. These chips are not like they're not made of ice, So if you're expecting them to just be like, oh, I'm gonna, like your cell phone. Your cell phone runs hot sometimes. If you use it too much, you touch the back of it, you feel it. So
I had a liquid cooled cell phone, by the way.
Yeah, just get used to that. Like you're gonna notice heat off of these things, but is it exaggerated? Is they trying to make it sound? Fuck no. Like it's not that bad. People just like you don't even know because you don't have it in your hands. Like you listen to one guy who retracted his statement, by the way, and then we've had like multiple people come out after he said that and say this is bullshit. Like even I think Greenberg even came out and said something about it at one point. So I wouldn't worry about it. It's just that's just fanboy fodder that you're seeing on the internet. Don't fall for it. Wait till you get one because everybody else it's super quiet. I've heard about the PlayStation as well. They're both quiet systems. They're not running super hot or anything like that. Just it's what you would expect out of a console. It's hot air. Just get over it.
I got you, brother. I got you, man. Straight to the point. Some humor and entertainment in the middle. I think this is something people expect from this show, and this is something that the panel delivers every single week. So, with that being said, I think Dark might have cooled his vocal cords down a little bit. He might come in a little smoother than his angry otter rant that happened on the previous topic. So let's go to Dark here. Dark, you hear what we're talking about? We're talking about Heat Series X. You've seen it on Twitter. You see the PS5, and from what we heard from your rant on the last topic, you absolutely love the PS5 and you applaud Sony in the direction that they're going. So, what do you think in terms of heat? Do you think there's going to be an issue with one or the other? Do you think heat is going to be a thing because of the tech that's in these systems? Do you think that both are going to have issues? What are your thoughts, bro?
You said I cooled down my vocal cords, and I thought to myself, "No, I haven't, bitch." No,
I
honestly,
was vaping, but I was shaking my head no when you said that. Just to let you know.
um, to be honest, both these consoles, when you're mass producing consoles like this, they're gonna have
Fred, you
issues.
are too much in my mind. When he was yeah, you have affected me some way because he's like when you mass, and I'm like no,
Oh, jeez.
no, no, don't do it.
That
When you
OnlyFans
mass
up.
produce these type of consoles, there's gonna be issues. It's not gonna be happening to everybody. We will hear about it. There will be things that we'll hear about. There will be people who have concerns and things like that. But at the end of the day, for the majority of these consoles, they're gonna run fine. They're gonna run the best that they can possibly run. Um, I think the whole. It was funny because one of the guys from I think GameSpot put one of those Seagate external hard drives in his hand. And he said, "Oh, it's so hot. Why is
Yeah.
it so hot?" And then he puts it down, and then he picks it up again. And I'm all like, "It's not that hot. I guarantee you, it probably
No,
wasn't
no,
that hot
well,
because
well, hold on. Let me explain something to you. Like that outside metal part when you plug it in,
it's probably gonna be hot." Yeah.
that's a part of the heat sink, which is why there is a black plastic piece that is positioned where you would have your fingers because
Yeah,
they're making
but
sure the
but
SSD
but
itself stays
I
cool.
don't think it was that hot because he put it right back in his hands like a few seconds later. So it probably wasn't that
He
hot.
blew on it like a Nintendo cartridge and made everything better.
Wow.
Oh,
Fred,
jeez.
there has definitely been a theme with you tonight, man.
Yes,
Yeah.
there's a lot of blowing. There's a lot of
You were blowing.
Blow on it. Everything
but
will be
that
better.
Y'all been
to
watching my
even
OnlyFans again?
talk about to even get into like what Crispy was saying about the blowing into your controller thing. Why does Sony feel like they have to put gimmicks? And I understand the Japanese market loves that type of stuff. They love gimmicky stuff, but guaranteed the US market is never going to use that shit. We are probably never going to use that shit except for maybe one game, which is Astro's Playroom or whatever. We'll probably use it for that.
Which
Maybe
is
if Miles
pre-installed.
Morales and those other games have it, I hope and pray that Demon Souls, Miles Morales, those games, the more exclusive games to Sony do not have that fucking gimmicky shit in it. Please don't do it. Please don't put that in there. And if it does, I'm gonna talk about it. I'm gonna be on here. I'm gonna be saying this is bullshit. Um, but I think the whole. I even when I heard about this about the Xbox Series X kind of having heat quote unquote heat issues or whatever, I was like, that's such a crock of shit. That doesn't every console in the past couple of generations has had a few issues with heating, and this console's gonna probably have a kind of not an issue, but like it's gonna have something to what is it having it a fan to fucking cool it down. So guess what? It's gonna get cool. It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be fine. It's okay. It's not like your console's gonna blow up. I've never heard of a console blowing up. I've never heard of it. I mean, I remember back even when the original Xbox came out, I heard people saying about like the 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 Xbox electrocutes through the wires of the controller
What?
and electrocutes to your hand and makes an X in your hand, and I'm like, what the fuck are these people on when they decide, hey, you know what, I'm gonna come up with something that's complete bullshit, because it didn't make any sense, made no sense at all, like it completely.
Dude, I never heard of it. I don't know what groups
It,
you were hanging
it,
around
it
back
was
then.
it was I mean, I was in high school at that point, when that was going on, so you hear things from kids
Yo,
and their
Dark,
fucking
real quick.
retardedness.
I want to shout this dude out, man. He has been a long time
Yeah,
subscriber
yeah,
to this
yeah. Go ahead.
channel. Yo, shout
I'm not
out
done yet, but
to
go
the
ahead.
friend. No, I know. I'm just giving you. I'm giving those vocal cords just a little rest, man. You're a less angry otter right now, but you are going in. So the friendly neighborhood blue shell. What is going on, brother? Great to see you in the chat, hitting up that super chat. He said the exaggeration by the gaming media towards negative Xbox news is as bad as what a certain elite is going to do to K Mega's Spartan. Dude, yo,
Oh,
Blue Shell's got it
Dang.
in for you, Mega. Like he is ready.
Hey,
He is
He's
ready.
hey,
your gamer tag, that's for
I
sure.
was streaming Blue Shell. I was streaming Halo 5 the other night. What was it, Tuesday night? So I mean,
Who are
I
you?
didn't see it. I didn't see it. You know what I'm saying? Hashtag save lock. We ready. We ready. We ready.
And real quick,
Hashtag Locke's not coming back,
Lock's coming back, man. Oh, for sure. I already know that.
and he's gonna die right away.
As the moderator, I get no respect, people.
No,
I'm
you
just
don't.
saying, no respect,
Done.
especially from Dark, especially from Dark. But
Yeah.
yo,
Nice.
shout out to Sir X Man hitting up that super chat one more time. He says,
Blue Shell.
won't be buying a used PS5 controller. T virus, yo, dude.
Hey, I mean I mean he's got a point there. I mean, I don't see why anybody's gonna be buying anything used.
K Mega's gonna buy a used PS5 controller and a used
I
VR. So
I don't like buying used consoles. Like that's the one thing I will never do is buy a used console ever.
Bro,
Like games are fine, but
I'll buy a used console, but I mean, if you think I'm finna buy the iHerpy machine,
dude,
yeah,
T
no
virus
VR,
iHerpy
hell
combo.
no.
iHerpy, no,
But
no, no.
that's you know, to get
It's
back
got
on
to be
topic
brand
with
new if I
don't
get a
don't tell
VR.
you get
it's
pink
heating
eye, bro.
issue.
No,
To
I
get
don't
back
want to
on
look like Mike
topic,
Pence, like he was looking,
hey,
man.
hey,
That was
hey,
crazy.
hey,
Oh,
shut
sorry,
up.
sorry. I thought it was my turn now. I didn't know.
No,
Anyway, go
it's
ahead.
not.
Oh,
You're not up yet.
woo!
The the heating issues, you know, like I said, these consoles are being mass produced. There's going to be problems. There's probably going to be some heating issues with certain people's consoles, and then they're going to make it a big thing. They're going to blow it out of proportion, and it's not even going to be that big of a deal. I mean, even during the Xbox One, when the Xbox One first launched, they had disk issues, or the disk drive was like cutting out on them, but it wasn't enough people that had that issue to even make a big deal out of it. But of course everybody was making a big deal out of it at the time. So I mean, you gotta understand, when you're buying new technology like this, you're gonna have problems. It's just inevitable. It happens every single time. Even when you buy a new phone, when you buy, something that is brand new, that just came out, no one has it. You're just gonna run into stuff like that, and it's not gonna be everybody. It's gonna be a small minute of people, and you just got to deal with it. That's why you get warranties on these things, like through Best Buy or whatever, or wherever you got it. I mean, unfortunately, I got my PS5 the uh, from the PlayStation Store, so I don't really technically get a warranty. I get a 1 year, I guess, warranty on the console itself if there's any hardware issues. I mean, I would have rather have had like a 3 year or something like that, but I didn't get that. Unfortunately, I mean, I looked for it. I did look for it on their website, but they didn't have it. So, I mean, sucks for me, definitely. I mean, oh well. So if I do have issues, I won't be able to. After a year, I probably won't be able to send it back to Sony, and that'll suck. I mean, but what am I gonna do? Am I gonna just be like, oh well, I'm not gonna play games anymore? No, I'm just gonna go. I'll probably just go buy a fucking Xbox because I'll be all pissed, or I'll already have an Xbox by that point. I'll just be like, man, fuck it. I'll just play on my Xbox for a while, and then maybe when I get the chance to buy another PS5, I'll do it. Um, but I mean, I'm excited for all these consoles, but I just don't see the issues with this heat stuff.
Dude, I can't wait to see the comment section for the people who watch the show afterwards. Yo, the angry otter rant, and then coming to this topic, and at the end of him talking, I'm excited for these consoles.
I mean, I am excited. I can't be excited and be pissed at the same
He's
time.
got a
Oh,
Viagra boner.
Calm
He's got
down.
he's got a
Hey,
Viagra
you don't
boner.
tell me what to do, bot. Damn it, I do what I want.
Next,
He's Michael Myers, bro. Come on.
wow. Yo, Freddy Krueger all day, by the way.
Man, fuck you.
Yeah. Don't go to sleep tonight. He's coming for you.
I know he's coming.
Yeah. All right, let's go to K Mega on this. Mega, you heard the rest of the panel. You've
Yeah.
seen everything on Twitter. I'm pretty sure you saw Jez Gordon what he put out there. To me, it makes sense if you think about it that a lot of heat is going to come out of the Series X, being where the basically the exhaust of the system is placed. It's a natural thing for heat to rise. All that good stuff. We see the heat sink, the fan, all that in the PS5 breakdown. What do you think about heating issues? Do you think these systems are gonna run warm? Do you think there's gonna be issues with one or the other? Both? None? Like what are your thoughts, man?
No, I mean any console when you first get it, there's going to be consoles that's going to mess up. I mean, my PlayStation, the only console I could say that I actually had no issues with that I've bought through all of the years I've been gaming is my Nintendo 60 my first NES. Well, I didn't buy that, but that I have, I should say. The NES, the first NES, because I still have it. It's in my closet. The Atari 2600, I still have that. That's for storage. Um, the Dreamcast and the OG Xbox. Everything else, and the PlayStation 3, I should say, PlayStation 3. Those consoles that I've owned, and there's other consoles, the Jaguar, there's been other consoles that I've owned beforehand. They all messed up at one point in time, and I've had to rebuy them, or I just said, nah, I'm not even going to worry about it. These consoles, they're just going to do it. If you're early adopter, you're just going to have to face the music that you might have that bad that bad console. I've had it with the Xbox One with the disk drive. It went out, got it replaced, fixed. With the Xbox One X, it had that heating issue thing where it shut itself off because it had that little whatever thing, and I sent that back. Boom, and that was it. It came back and got fixed. The PlayStation 4 had an issue with that. I just luckily just had that fixed, and that was it. But that's those things will happen when you get to the point to where you have a console, like let's say with the 360, with the Red Ring of Death, and it's starting to get like years within its cycle and have issues, then that's when you have serious problems. So no, this is going to be a minute thing. I think it's ridiculous on both. You haven't seen me stress too much about the heating issues about the PlayStation 5, even though it is pretty suspect about how things are, but I'm giving the benefit of the doubt because of the fact that they've made the console the way they constructed it in a way so it wouldn't run hot. I've heard the same things. I think that was what Otter said, where they both, or somebody on the panel said, they because I heard the same thing, that they both run quiet. They're not they're not loud, and
So they're not throttling then.
Right. But
Yeah, that would be
also, but they're also, like Fred said, is that they're playing games that isn't really pushing the hardware, and so again, we'll find out here a little bit later. But then there's also like stands are out here going crazy. They're finding anything and everything to try to stick to make the Series X seem like it is it's just not a good console to own. I've never seen anybody or any group of people that would have so much animosity towards a console because they like something else better, to where they will just go out and they will take something and they'll run with it, and they'll even lie and add other stuff to it. I've never seen this ever with even with the whole the Nintendo Sega situation or whatever. I've never seen this type of bullshit ever in gaming. Like it's crazy. It's you have all these other people. This is the thing. I would believe more that the PlayStation has more to hide than what Xbox has done because there's so many people who has talked shit about Xbox, who has an Xbox, who has a Series X that could just easily say, look, I mean, say what you want to say about Jazz working for Windows Central. Jazz has pissed off a lot of Xbox people by saying some things that he felt that need to be addressed with the shortcomings of Xbox. No different than old dude that people are tripping out about because he had that issue with Paris, I think that's his name, with Jason Schroeder or however you say his name.
Try.
Trier, whatever the case may be. There's people that got a hold of these consoles that would easily dog out the Xbox if they see fit, if there was any type of issues, and we haven't heard anything but praise. Now that and even there, some of them is even going to almost where they mess up the embargo because they're not supposed to say anything to talk up and big up the Series X by saying, look, this console is legit. I don't know what's going on. I don't know how many people are trying to say this, but look, this console is legit in so many words. So again, while PlayStation is only in a controlled area, controlled room with one person and no consoles in the wild. But I'm still going to give the benefit of the doubt because Sony does know how to make they're good at technology. It's just that Xbox seems like they're just a lot more better at it than what Sony has become here in just recent in the last 4 years or so. So again, I think it's a bunch of hot air. It's not even worth really putting emphasis. Matter of fact, we'll talk about it, but I think there'll be one of the early topics that we'll just go ahead and get and knock out on GRG so we can just get on and talk about the good stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because this is, to me, it's just fanboy fodder. They just want to talk about some crazy stuff. Like when you hear people trying to make the battery, still going back to the Xbox having the Xbox controllers have batteries as compared to what PlayStation is doing with their whole thing with opening up the console and putting in their SSDs, you know that there's a problem. They don't have anything to really talk about. The only thing the Xbox has to do right now is just show the games off the Series X. That's all they have left to do. Once they show they show current gen games running off the Series X, then that's it. That's it. There's no more. There's no that they dotted all the I's, they crossed all the T's. It's all over. And at that point, Sony will still have answers unless they come rolling with only 26. Well, I should say a little bit over 26 days, about a month left before we start. A little bit over a month before we start getting these consoles in our hands and in these homes. So I think it's just ridiculous.
I got you, brother. At the end of the day, from what I'm seeing in terms of the technology, CPU, GPU, all that good stuff, I definitely believe that there's going to be heat. Again,
Right.
I gotta reiterate the fact that I feel the Series X and what they did and how they didn't make a traditional console and how they basically made a chimney stack. Um, I think that definitely works out in the favor of gamers who pick up a Series X. When it comes to the PS5, I don't think there's going to be any issues. I think that the certain ways that they designed it with the removable plates and what I said about them being kind of extended out from the system so your hand doesn't really feel the heat. And shout out to Spawnwave because that was the channel that said that when they did their own kind of like thoughts and opinions about the breakdown. I was like, yo, that's genius right there because these companies knew that these chips were going to be hot. I mean, we remember the rumors about Sony spending more money on their whole kind of like cooling solution than they really wanted to because they had to. So like when you get these systems in your homes, they are going to be warm. I think they're going to be warm. I think for the older
PCs get warm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, let me read something from somebody who has who's really don't have a thing in the fight because he's really mostly a PC guy, and that we both know him as Kev, it's Glorious Kev, And so there's somebody that's trying to tell him he's wrong. And like he says right here, he says, I've seen small form factor PCs with less space for air to move, and they do fine. I don't know. I don't think there will be any differences, especially with that massive fan. But we'll just be a wait and see. And so then this guy comes into it, and see, this is the thing too. This is what cracks me up about the stands is that they got this herd cattle mentality, right? Like they hear something from somebody, and then they just follow the herd, like they just go right with it, and they talk because somebody is giving them some kind of insight on what this is or what this is. I've never seen this person ever talk about liquid cooling, but here we go. Unless it's liquid cooled, I've heard of those PCs having heating issues consistently. And he says maybe back in the day, but these days, air cooling and liquid cooling offer fairly similar results. Air runs slightly hotter, but nothing massive. But a few degrees. Like that. Like I mean, we. That's the thing that trips me out about this whole thing, right? Like I don't know why some people want to stick their neck out to get it chopped off to look like an idiot because of somebody that they listen to thinking that they know so much instead of people doing the proper research. And especially this guy doesn't know that this person is a diehard PC fan, PC gamer, and it's been building PCs ever since I don't even know how long. I mean, I've been knowing Kev forever. I mean, you too, bot. So it's like, why would you challenge this man just because you don't like what his point is? You know what I'm saying? Obviously, you better look and check. Yeah, because if somebody says something to me, I'm always checking their background and seeing what they're saying. And if there's something that they haven't brought up beforehand, I already know I got them because they are already just using rhetoric that they've gotten from somebody else. I just think it's crazy.
Damn. Yo, shout out to Glorious Kev. Yeah,
Yeah.
we've known him since Facebook. He's been around since
If
Facebook.
he's been around since Facebook. He's been around for a while.
Me and him used to clash a little bit in the Facebook
Mm-hmm.
space, but at the end of the day, we both had respect for each other, stuff like that, and we heard what each other said, and now out here on Twitter, it's funny, he likes my the type of music that I listen to. I guess he didn't expect that when I started sharing, Spotify and the music I was listening to, and some of the things that I put out there on Twitter, like shout out to Kev, man, cool guy,
Yeah.
definitely PCMR.
Oh yeah. Oh, no doubt, no doubt. And also,
Definitely.
go touch your router. I see my boy Game over talking about. Yeah, go touch your router and see if it's not warm, because I bet you that some buck is. Go touch your. I bet you if you go touch your external hard drive, I bet it's warm too.
Hold on, let
So
me.
I bet if you fart, you put your hand
Not
back
my.
there,
Well,
it'd be warm too.
it's
And keep
warmer
it
than
warm,
room
people.
temperature, but that's about it.
Keep
that's
it
what I'm saying.
warm,
Like, I
people.
mean, you'll find it is warm. Like, that's what I'm thinking. What is warm? If somebody got sensitive ass
Warm
fingers
and
that don't,
wet, bro.
yeah, like, see, now I don't know about warm and wet. Now, if your shit wet, you
That's
got a
moist.
problem. Yeah. I'm saying that's the wrong type of moisture that you want. You know what I'm saying? On the electronics, but yeah, that's the thing though. I don't see why people are. I understand to talk about it. It's okay to talk about, but the way that these guys are running with it, and now all of it talking about liquid cooling, we're already seeing the stands already try to have this movement, just like they did with resolution, which now resolution don't even matter because they got kicked in the teeth because of the Series X is just so much more superior when it comes to resolution. So it baffles me. It baffles me. I don't even know why some people still listen to this to the dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? Just listen to the facts. That's all I say.
Nice. And guys, on that note, we covered what was in the title of the show, and I think it's about time to bring this to an end for this week, for this Thursday. I do want to say huge shout out for the chat to the chat for hanging out with us, hearing us share our opinions and our thoughts about the gaming topics that have happened throughout the week. You guys are absolutely amazing. The chat was on fire. Seeing your thoughts and opinions, your jokes, and just you guys interacting with each other makes this show absolutely worthwhile. If you haven't done it yet, hit that thumbs up button. let people know where you are every Thursday hanging out with the next podcast crew. But like a 40-year-old with a comb over, it is time to get those plugs in. And I am going to start with the man, the myth, the legend, the creator of hashtag Crispy Truth, Crispy Bomb. Crispy, you are on multiple podcasts. You got multiple things to let people know about. You also got to let them know about social media. And I think you usually throw in your gamer tag as well. So this way, people in the chat can game with you too. So now's your time, bro.
Oh, absolutely. Awesome chat tonight. I mean, just incredible. I love the banter. I love a little, tip for tat. I mean, we got no problem with that. Not on here. So it's always fun. Always fun talking gaming with you guys. I mean, my God, you guys blew my mind tonight, especially freaking Dark over here, like just smashing stuff. Dude, you
I
made me
almost smashed
feel
my
like
computer. Let's just say
you
that.
you made me feel like a neutral real quick. I'm just saying, like I'm an Xbox guy, but I'm like, damn, like you going in, bro, and I love it. I really do. At Chris Bomb on Twitter, Chris Bomb 28 Xbox Live. Hit me up. We're gonna do some gaming whenever you want. Just hit me up. And yeah, we got Breakfast of Boom tomorrow morning, Friday. Yes, because some people don't know what day tomorrow is. Friday, 10 a.m. And yes, also, I believe Mr. Clowns has something special that's going to show up with Four Guys with Quarters. And we might be interviewing somebody from the Gears universe that has done all the composing for the past 3 games this
Ooh.
generation. So that should be fun. I probably shouldn't have did that, but you know what?
Oh well.
Everybody should know that because it's going to be fun. And yes, you can find me on Retro Renegades Tuesday night, 7 p.m. And you can always find me here on the next podcast, 7 p.m. Thursday nights. Let's go, baby.
Nice, brother. And let's go to the man from the Lone Star State, the gaming business professional on this panel. Fred. Um, again, when you said you would join the panel, like, dude, you put a huge smile on my face, man. And I gotta say, what happened?
Have that effect.
Oh no.
I've been
But
living in
dude,
hell ever
ever
since.
since ever since I was a guest and I was able to talk to you on the shop, I was like, damn, I would love to have him as a panel member, and then the planets aligned, and I was actually able to offer you a spot, and you definitely asked if you wanted to. I was like, try it on. A new pair of kicks. You got to put them on. You got to walk around a little bit, check them out in the mirror. I am so happy that you decided to stay with us, bro. Let people know where they can get a hold of you if you want to throw your gamer tag in there as well. But definitely social media, and if there's something that you need to announce, man, now's the time, bro.
Predator underscore H2S pretty much everywhere. Xbox Live, PlayStation, OnlyFans, whoever that was looking for that link. There you go. And MySpace, of
Here you
course.
go.
And
Oh, I thought you actually put a link. I was like, oh my goodness.
I'll be on Weebly Green on Monday. I think they start at 7 Eastern. Don't quote me on
Ooh.
that. So they Dirt's been asking me to come on there for a while. So they're gonna yank me on the show for a couple hours, and then
Shout out to
uh,
Dirt Griggity.
yeah, and that's it, man. I don't have anything else planned this week.
Nice, man. Well, I will let you know you are in for a wild time, man. I was a guest on there. Yeah, they bring that energy as well, man, and they really interact with negative people in the chat. That's all I'm gonna say, man. Shout out to Weebly Green, Dirt Griggity and crew. Keep working hard, guys. You know what I'm saying? It is time to bring the man who was with me from the beginning, the man who probably has his feet in some type of mechanism right now to make them look like he is 20 years old. Of course, K Mega, you got a show coming
He's
up
gonna need
tomorrow,
a lot of that.
huh?
Said he's gonna need a lot of that.
Yo, K Mega, you got a podcast coming up tomorrow, man. Again, another wild podcast, yo. You gotta let people know about that. People in the chat who, for some rhyme or reason, and I don't know why, might not have heard about it. You gotta give them that info. Let them know about your YouTube channel. Let them know about your streaming as well and social media. You know what? You're a professional, man. Just go.
All right, cool. Thank you. Appreciate it, man.
Yes.
On the quest now, man, to looking for that hot and ready Xbox Series X. So, you know what I'm saying? Gonna have to be doing that. Gonna have to go check out that, see what's going on with that list, see how close I am for that, because I want to try to get my hand on that. But other than that, yeah, the GRG podcast tomorrow. So far, man, we got Invader stopping by, and we're going for the very first time, and we also having my main man, my boy, oh man, M2K, man. You know, not M2K. I'm sorry.
PTK.
No. Fame 2K.
Oh,
Fame
Fame.
2K. Fame. Yeah, first time, man. My brother Fame. You know, so I really appreciate it. I tried to see what Pred was doing, but Pred said he had to go.
Dude, you booked two people that like it's hard as hell to get them
hard as hell, man. And I was just like, oh, well, you know what I'm saying? You know, let me hit him up. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I'm going to be try to bring more people onto the show. And, you know what I'm saying? I hit up Pred, but Pred said he had to take care of he had to wash out his colon. So I was like, I don't want to know. That's your business. So I was like, all right. But yeah.
Put my liver out with liquor. That's
so anyway, but yeah, no, we planning on having a really great show. So come and check us out tomorrow, 7:00 p.m. Central Time, the Lord's time, the real Lord's time.
Texas time.
Yeah. Well, Oklahoma time. And yeah, so come and check us out, man. And also, I'm back to the streaming thing. I streamed that one game. What was it? Genshin Impact or whatever. That game is really dope. I really enjoyed that game. Yeah, it's really good, man. Really enjoy that. Hopefully that they'll come to the Series X or in the Series S. There's no plans to come to the Xbox, to the Xbox One, but hopefully it can come to the S and the X. Hopefully, it's a really good game. But it's also available on PlayStation 4 and on PC. So definitely check that game out. I streamed some Destiny, brother. I don't know where Xbox was. I have no.
I didn't get a message. Yeah.
Oh no! The last time I played Destiny 2, you just popped out of nowhere like a thief in the night. I was like, what the hell? So yeah. So and I started playing Shadowkeep. So I'm still in the beginning because you know how I get lost because I don't like. I get confused about how they want you to go one place, this place here, that place there. But I will be streaming that hopefully maybe Saturday. And if not, then whenever we ready to play golf, I put in about 40 some holes in. I think I'm ready to get down and get to it. So yeah, and then of course the biggest thing that we have with the streaming situation on Twitch and on YouTube is Sunday night fight night or fight night Sundays. Because Sir X Man likes saying it the other way. I like fight night Sundays. But regardless, it is what it is. Come and check us out. We talk a lot of trash. It's a lot of fun. I think I pissed off one of my viewers and they left. Hey, it is what it is. Just take it for what it is, man. It's competition. It's fun. I don't mean any harm, but if I beat you or if you beat me, I'm still gonna talk shit. That's just what I do. So it's just what it is. But it's all good. It's all in fun. So thank you guys so much. Yeah, hope to see you guys tomorrow on GRG.
Nice, brother.
Oh, one more thing. On Twitter, I'm like 14, 15 away from 5,000, man. Go ahead and hit me up and hit that follow. We're right there, baby. We're right there. Go ahead and do that.
Nice. Congratulations ahead of time,
real quick.
Huh? What'd you say?
So everybody needs to go unfollow him.
I know. Watch. I said that. And watch. I'm gonna look back and I'm gonna be like a 4,000.
Happens to me all the time. That's why
all
I
the time, bro. Maybe I should have. I
don't do it no more.
I ain't said nothing in a minute about it because
dude, I'll have the screenshot, and then it'll be
Yeah.
like a day later, and I have like an extra 10, 15 followers. I'm like, all right, yeah, there we go. Now I can
Yeah,
post
and then once I get to the 5,000, I'm not going to say nothing until it gets like 5,013 or something. So
it.
you know,
Exactly. That's what I do now.
but go ahead and follow me on Twitter, man. At KMega4, man. Really appreciate it. Thank you guys for the support.
Nice, and you're absolutely right about the followers or whatnot. Like when we're live on the show, like I saw it tonight. We're at like 180 something people watching, and I was thinking about share this out, let's get to 200. But then I realized anytime I did that,
They drop.
it would drop. Like
They drop, bro. Lurkers do not want to be recognized. I learned that doing the streaming thing. Like I would say, hey man, thank you guys for checking out the show. I don't even acknowledge them now. You know what I'm saying? Because once I say something, boom, they're gone. I'm like, wow.
Stay in the shadows, man.
Right.
But
Right.
hey, it's all good, man. All the love, all the support. For people who even lurk in the shadows, come to check us out. Come to check K Mega streams out and stuff like that every week. We love all you guys, man. And let's get to Dark real quick. My West Coast brother. Dark, you went on a rant tonight, man, and I gotta say,
Tired myself out, dude.
I'm kind of proud, man. I'm kind of proud. You went all in. You weren't even just everything straight from the heart, and I think everybody in the chat was digging it as well. Why don't you let them know where they can go to talk games with you? You want to share gamer tags, social media, stuff like that. If there's anything you want to say to the chat, now's the time.
Yeah, you guys can find me on Twitter at Darkonimus. You can also find me on Xbox and PlayStation at the same name. And yeah, man, I mean, I tired myself out tonight with the ranting. I was mad, dude. I'm still mad. I'm about to go on a rant again. You better stop me, dude.
Yo, do me a favor, Dark. Say next gen consoles are bringing that heat.
The next gen consoles are bringing that heat. I'm excited for them, but I'm still pissed about it.
Yo, that is Dark Optimus in a nutshell. And guys, as usual, first off, thank you everybody in the chat, man. It's always fun. Everybody on the panel, I love coming together every Thursday. If you guys haven't done it yet, hit that thumbs up button. If you haven't subscribed, definitely subscribe. We are seeing growth in this channel, growth on this podcast and the Series X podcast, which is every Sunday, 6 p.m. Eastern, which is a show where me and Jamie Moran only talk about Xbox. We don't mention any other platforms. Not only that, no other platforms are mentioned in the chat. It's just all Xbox news, Xbox entertainment, and seeing so many people come to this channel twice a week, man, it means so much to me. Thank you guys for all the support. If you want to become a member, you just hit that button down below the stream. Other than that, I will end the show the way I do every week. We will see you next week for the next podcast. Have a great night, everybody. No craziness? I'm like, no craziness? Oh, damn.
I'm listening at this crazy shit where these fucking nationalists is trying to kidnap was had a plan to try to kidnap the Michigan governor.
Okay,
Yeah, the Michigan governor.
We're out, people.